Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's ESC Collegiate League of Legends action featuring your Miami University Redhawks up against NIU today. My name is Jason J. Son Allen here with.
My name is Caden Citro, also known as Onion_JPEG. And like you said, we have a wonderful match here today. Miami versus NIU.
Yes, it's a best of three, and it should be fun. Unfortunately, though, Miami is not making playoffs, so we're gonna head into draft, and we're gonna see what sort of fun stuff that they can
Yeah.
cook up. So even though they're not entering playoffs, come postseason, it does give an opportunity for these last two games of them to be sort of fun. Maybe we'll see some cool combo picks, cool combo drafts. Maybe we'll just see them play their mains, their comfort picks. I'm just really excited. We've heard some whispers of some fun stuff being cooked up by Miami in the draft, so I'm really looking forward to see what are able to come up with.
And we're really doing just some straight up target bans, it looks like. B Chillin, the NIU mid laner, really likes that Rumble, so we're going to take that away from him. Fury, their top laner, really likes that Cassante. Going to take that away from him. He also likes Aatrox. I don't think we'll ban Aatrox because I believe we are first pick, and I think we will maybe first pick that Aatrox. Zinzhao and Milio banned for NIU.
Yeah, these are classics. I mean, Evil Lobster has been loving that Xin Zhao, because pretty much his other two comfort picks of Trundle and Jarvan are just really not as good right now as that Xin Zhao. So if they take that one away, they're taking away, on Miami's side, the Nautilus as NIU takes away the Aatrox, which is exactly what you mentioned. Final Boss
Right.
of Ohio loves playing this Aatrox pick. And we see the Ashe locked in, does not have the Nautilus behind it. We've seen the sort of Ashe Nautilus combos. It's just an obliteration of CC.
Right.
But we are seeing the Ashe that could go support, which is something important to keep in mind for heavy poke lane with something like a Varus.
Right. And the Imperial Mandate Ash has just been a thing since Imperial Mandate was added.
Pretty much.
Um, it's just really good, and Ash is very oppressive even as a support with that volley. So it'll be very interesting to see if this is actually an ADC or if it is a support. Jinx going to be picked up as well as maybe Tom Kinch for NIU, a classic, very safe bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Kench loves being paired with those hyper carries like the Jinx, like the Aphelios, you know. It just gives them something to sort of lean back on. And in addition, Miami has played against several Tom Kench lanes where it's very oppressive. It's a annoying champion in lane even because he's so tanky, the gray health, you can't really burst him down
Right.
quickly. So I like the Tom Kench Jinx for NIU. You know, it's sort of a callback to like a year or two ago, but you know, sometimes those things creep up every now and then when the meta gets a little bit um, obscured.
I personally prefer the Cinna with the Tom Kinch, just because I think Cinna scales really well right now, and I think she's just a very strong pick in general.
Absolutely.
Varus is going to be picked up for Miami, making that a Varus Ashe bot lane. Interesting. It's very poke.
It's pretty much what I expected. You
Yes.
know, I love Varus Ashe. It's just, like such a classic. Let's be annoying and poke them bot
Right.
lane.
Right. Right.
The sad part is against Tom Kench, you don't really do that much. So you're just kind of hoping that this Jinx is caught in the line of fire most of the time. So yeah, we'll have to see how that works out. Evil Lobster going back to the Trundle, sort of again something that I sort of expected with the Xin Zhao ban. You know, previously when Shinzao was banned, he went to the Trundle next. I know Trundle's not in the best state. I think he got buffed a patch or two ago. But when Evil Lobster's on him, he can make those plays. He makes it work. We see Silas picked up by this NIU mid laner, which is definitely another comfort pick of his. He likes the Silas. And, you know, with those ultimates on the other end, there's a bunch of playmaking to be done. Chain of
Right.
Corruption, Enchanted Crystal Arrow, those are great ultimates that you want to steal on Silas.
Yeah, and as we take a look at these new bans coming in by both teams, Jax banned away from Final Boss of Ohio, Gragas a very safe top laner, probably one of the safest picks in the game. You don't really take damage, and then you don't really when you do take the damage, it doesn't stick because you can just heal up really well. Uh, Gangplank and Gnar both banned out.
Yeah, 6, technically 7 if you want to include that Rumble in, bans towards the top side by both teams. So I'm really intrigued to see what we will get here. I kind of think Ornn makes a lot of sense when you sort of brush the barrel down, sort of
Right.
what's left is there, usually Ornn. If we see a Yumi, this could be Varus mid. Um,
Could be an Ash
and
fit.
I am sort of in my head right now thinking about Kale.
Mhm.
Because Kale is pretty okay into Ornn. You kind of scale very well alongside him. Instead, we're going to see the Ziggs, which I love to
Okay.
see. Quagert loves this pick. Very good against Silas because Silas obviously has to walk up
It's a
into that wave.
Trundle top.
And now we get Velvet locked in, which, yeah, as you just said, it's Trundle top most likely
I
here.
was going to mention this. I didn't know if it was actually worth mentioning. I do think Trundle is a very strong top laner. He is very oppressive, especially into a tanky pick like the Ornn. Once he gets subjugate his ultimate, I think he is very good at dealing with the tanks, and I expect Trundle at least post level 6 to be doing very well against this Ornn.
Yeah, Briar locked in for NIU on the other end. This is a pick that they've played a lot so far in ESC. However, I mean, into Miami's team comp, it's a little bit concerning. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, the Varus Ultimate, Ziggs is so annoying to play against if you're playing Briar. You know, yeah, the healing is a lot, but Miami has a lot of tools to sort of push her back continuously in these fights, and she might just end up rendering useless in the late game. It's sort of gonna be up to her to see how powerful can she get early. So
Right.
like she only needs 3 auto attacks and can't actually be bursted away.
I will also say that if anyone on the side of Miami decides they want to pick up any sort of damage or heal reduction, heal cut, I think that kind of just turns Briar off.
Yes.
So any kind of bramble vest,
I'd
anything
probably
like
expect
that,
a like a Kempunk chainsword from this
yeah,
Ash because if you look at Miami's comp right now, it's like it's a little weird to build heel cut. I've had a
for sure.
cast with Devin, and we talked about this a lot. Where like, if you're playing against a team that has a lot of healing, and you really want, you're gonna need to build heel cut. You better make sure that the champions that you picked can actually build it.
Right.
Because stuff like bruiser champions, you don't really want to spend your gold on Kempunk Chainsword if you don't have to. So I could see probably Ash is gonna build Kempunk if she goes that Imperial Mandate build.
Hmm.
She might also just go strong lethality, just go straight for an Axiom Arc, look for those Ash ults and try to make
True.
plays. And I think that's how Miami wins this game is they just pick the fights that they want to take rather than letting NIU come up to them.
That's very fair. I do also think heel cut is very good against the Silas as well.
Yeah.
Very important. Maybe we see a Morello. I know it's not really the best, but at least an Oblivion Orb on the Ziggs I think could be useful, especially early game when Silas is able to heal a lot of his health bar with his W.
Right. And as for Silas, when we think about ultimate steals, there are some powerful ones this game, and there's some that are just like absolutely useless.
Right.
It's basically Miami's bot lane is the target of every single Sylas ult in this
Mhm.
game. The Ziggs ult, it's good. It'll probably be used in lane to clear waves every so often. But like Belveth and Trundle, the Trundle
Yeah.
tankiness is nice, but it's not those playmaking ults like a Nautilus ult or an
Right.
Alistar ult that's really gonna take a fight in your favor. So looking out for Enchanto Crystal Arrows on both ends of the rift. We're gonna take a short break before we hop into this game number 1, and hopefully we'll see some fun shenanigans once we do. So don't go anywhere. And we're back on Summoner's Rift, Miami University up against NIU in this ESC Collegiate League of Legends match. It's a best of 3 as a reminder, and this is game number 1. As for Miami, the first thing that I am noticing is 4 teleports.
Or
Yeah, we got
yeah.
we got double teleport in the bot lane, and then
Huh.
TP's in the solo lane. NIU setting up a funny little bush up there, but we won't see anything happen there. Again, Miami, unfortunately, they are not making playoffs this year. So these last 2 games are their last 2 of the season. So they really have to put all into it. End off the semester on a good note is definitely what you want.
Yeah, and it is the 4 teleport, I think, is really just a very interesting strategic choice as we see Trundle here waiting in
Oh,
this
let's see
push,
what he's
going to
gonna
be
do. He's
doing
gonna
some
land the chomp. Yeah, gonna get a slow. Also, that bonus damage is nice. He actually has PTA as well, so was able to do a huge
that
chunk of
was a
damage.
lot.
Right, and now, I mean, Ornn can't really back here. He's not gonna make it in time for these minions, so he's just gonna have to sort of sit under his turret, try and soak as much XP as he possibly can. But I mean, we know Final Boss of Ohio, he can play really aggressive now, especially since this Briar is starting in the bot side of the map. So she's not gonna be up there until way later.
Yeah, and we do see this Bel'Veth as well starting on her Raptors, going to be soloing Raptors into uh, Krugs, I think. Yeah, and into Krugs, into Red Buff there. So she doesn't need a leash. And Final Boss of Ohio just doing so much
Yeah,
damage.
I mean, this is exactly what we expected. He can play as far as up as he wants. He's going to hit level 2 before this Ornn, most likely, and he's just going to be able to excel this lead even further. We see the potions and the biscuits are being used by this Ornn to try and get himself up. It's just important. Final Boss of Ohio needs to just be map aware. This Briar's not going to be up there for a while, so he's good right now. But in a couple seconds, he's going to have to start thinking, okay, there's going to be a Briar that's going to come up here. There has to be, because otherwise this Ornn is completely screwed.
Right.
This wave is slow pushing. It's not going to go under his turret 2 seconds. And I love placing that ward. I mean, Briar has no easier way to get in lane than just walking through.
Yeah, and like you said, I do really like that word. This wave is kind of in a bad position for this Ornn because there's just such a big wave. So we're gonna try to get that under tower to make sure he loses stuff. Maybe get a cheater back on his way. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
cheater
like it.
recall.
Great call out. And he is going to be able to just get all these minions under the turret, but he was going to be able to do that anyway. So great call. Final Boss of Ohio takes a nice free back. We'll get some boots. Going to be able to get back to lane very quickly. And I mean, the state is perfect for him. And mid lane, you can see, I mean, Ziggs applies so much pressure onto any melee champion in the
Right.
early game. But I was going to mention, B Chillin did take the ignite in this lane. Silas can totally take TP. In fact, it's great on him. It's great to flank it with it late game. And it's sometimes really good into these poor lane matchups where you can't really step up to CS without getting severely injured. But does opt for the ignite. So is sort of just saying, I'll just be down in CS and I can just solo kill you at any time. So Quager's going to have to watch out, going to have to be, placing those satchel charges smartly to get himself out of any trouble.
Right.
But he
In
even took a
theory,
demolish.
yeah, in theory, he would be able to kill the Sigs at any time, but I think Quaker is just that confident going to be able to play really respectfully kind of stupid
Oh,
because
yeah.
there is there's a Briar somewhere around. I don't think she's been on the map quite yet, so you could expect that she would be coming mid, and you see her coming in right here to pick up this wave. But like playing that aggressive as a Ziggs level very early in this game, I think you're level 5. Um, it's just very fun.
Right. Of course. And now because Briar has to spot the wave mid lane, she doesn't really have first move into the bot side of the map. So
Force
Bel'Veth,
the
it looks
flash.
like, is instead just going to go towards her Raptors, Evil Lobster, rather than double scuttling, because he probably might have assumed that Briar did take the scuttle before going mid lane, but he might find out right now that that's actually not the case, unless he just looks like he's just pathing towards top side, because they might be able to just look for a dive pre-6 onto this Ornn. This Ornn does not have flash.
Did TP back to lane down a level. I think Final Boss of
Yeah,
Ohio
oh.
can kind of push this here
And
if he
Valencilla
wants.
is coming up as well. So, I mean, this Ornn is in a lot of trouble. Mid lane, also, struggling so much. They're just going to use the Ashe up here to sort of secure these grubs. We'll probably just be able to take all three because mid lane is heavily pushed in this. Briar does not really have much great things to do early game
Right.
right now. Just sit back and farm. So yeah, all three of those grubs are going to be going over to Miami. The first Drake is available and it is Mountain, but Spire is on the top side of the map and she is looking mid lane. I'm definitely not really going to get anything out of it, but Quaker's been jumped on, been ignited as well, but it's a first blood going over to this Belveth, and she'll pick up another Evil Lobster with the double kill. Even the Mega Inferno Bomb will be used just to sort of push this wave out and punish even more. So, I mean, it was a good effort,
Yeah.
but it just didn't get anything.
Miami had the right people in the right spots at the right time to save Quaker from death there. And a really nice satchel charge catapulting Ziggs into safety next to the Belveth, and Ash going to save his life. There is a
Oh, he's
buff.
looking mid. Abyssal dive, knock up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Quaker flashed an emote before his death. He'll sort of just dissipate into the
Yeah,
air. Unfortunate, but you know, it happens. I think
it
he just overstayed
does.
his welcome there.
That's fine. Miami doesn't. I don't think they're going to sweat that very much at all. It did go to the Silas, but also our Belveth has 2 kills very early. I think we are just going to have to give up this dragon, unfortunately, because we don't really have any push on the mid or bot wave, and Belveth is nowhere to be seen. So red team is going to get that first Mountain Drake, unfortunately.
Yeah, we saw top lane. They were just sitting there.
They're all
They're
just
just
sitting
looking. Yeah,
there.
they're all just sitting there. It was a brief moment of, you know, everybody needs to take a moment to breathe every so often. You know, but this top lane, Final Boss of Ohio doesn't want to breathe anymore. In fact, he's getting cornered here, but just gonna lay some snow on the ground and we'll be able to get away from Beach Chillin's roam very nicely. Meanwhile, mid lane, I mean, Ziggs pushes so fast. The gold difference, look at mid lane right now. I mean, the gold difference is only 800, but look at the CS. I mean, that can really be accelerated, but he's in trouble. The Abscond doesn't land, though, so the Satchel Charge will get Quigert out very safely, and the Belveth just doesn't do enough right now. And again, all those minions under turret already. The XP was already taken. Silas is going to steal the Mega Inferno Bomb, so we'll have that available for the next 30 seconds or so.
In Mega Inferno Bomb is like kind of scary if you're the Ziggs, if you're low health, but you're currently sitting at above half health. You're not really sweating it at all, as in Abyssal Dive comes out by the
Yep.
Tom Kinch.
It's just not going to land, though. NTSP is too clean with this Barris. In fact, he's going to land the Chain of Corruption. Will force out the cleanse from this Jinx. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Silas is in a lot of trouble. Trying to get the kill onto Quaker, but won't actually pick it up. The certain death is used, though, onto this Belveth, but I think Belveth can sort of just take it. Mega Inferno Bomb will be used, but it's not enough. A great dodge, but Quaker's in trouble. Will he be able to survive this? It doesn't look like he will. To trade 1-for-1 so far. Meanwhile, in the top lane, there's an ult being used by this Ornn, but Final Boss of Ohio is not sweating it whatsoever. We'll just keep pushing this wave. Silas is still like looking dirty here. I think he's just going to try to execute. Will the Belveth be able to get on him? He will. Meanwhile, this bot lane is coming. The Abscond lands, but he won't be able to get away. It's actually a very nice pickup with the Piercing Arrow by NTSP.
Yeah, that was very clean by Miami. A very good rotation to pick up that kill to make sure Belveth did not die, as a Frozen Dome main is going to come out in a Pillar of Ice to stop the back, but nothing is going to be gotten out of it. And I think Final Boss of Ohio is going to try his best to just run away here. Going to Ghost to make sure he gets out.
Broccoli's frenzy is funny against people like Trundle, who, yeah, they can just sort of run away from you. I mean, it's not an issue whatsoever. And again, that's what we mentioned in draft when they locked in this Belveth, this Briar, excuse me, that, you know, like,
First turret
Miami
already.
has so many tools to just get away from her.
Right. In that first tower, also going to be picked up by Miami, going to be a good chunk of gold. We are already 5,000-ish gold ahead
Crazy.
in IEU. Only 4-2.
Right, it's just across the board CS leads. I mean, that's part of it. NTSP is going to get dived on. The Chain of Corruption does come out. It's actually really, really good, but going to be devoured here. I think he's going to be in a lot of trouble and probably not going to be able to get out of this. The Exhaust as well, he's just slowed. Can't really do anything. Miami will trade it, though, for 6 grubs in total, but that is shutdown gold going over onto this Jinx.
Yeah, an unfortunate shutdown, but I don't think it really matters all that much. We are still about 4,000 gold ahead. The bot wave looking kind of juicy, but it's just gonna die to the tower, and it is what it is. I think the lead that we have everywhere else on the map is good enough to keep us rolling as we continue on in this game. It looks like they are going to actually get a plating or two. Yeah, 2 platings off of that, which isn't the best in the world, but it's fine.
Yeah, Quaker's looking up towards the top side of the map, maybe looking to try and get a dive or just a Mega Inferno Bomb onto this Ornn. Meanwhile,
Subsidy.
bot side, there's a little bit of a convergence happening with both teams' junglers and Silas as well, but nothing's going to actually end up happening. I know Valencia is back in this bot lane, but she has been roaming a lot this game, and I love to see that on an Ashe. Quaker's punching this turret. Remember, he is a Ziggs Lichbane, so it's even better than that. Call of the Forge God comes out. Is he going to be able to do enough? There's
No
the satchel
tower.
charge onto the turret. Now he's in a little bit of trouble, but Quaker is actually the one in trouble. Is going to flash away with the Mega Inferno Bomb. Is taken solo, and so is his Ornn. They both live, but it's actually Final Boss of Ohio who's able to off both of them with a double kill.
Quaker gets out of that without dying. That is insane.
Oh,
Really,
meanwhile,
really well
bot
played.
lane, another kill onto this Jinx going against NTSP. A little bit of a scuffle happening. Maybe NTSP getting a little bit hot-headed, but oh my gosh, what a sliver of health. I would have
What a
loved,
fight.
I need to see the replay and see what his HP was, because both him and Ornn were left like with the
Yeah.
same exact amount of HP, but it was just like an extra tick of damage by by Final Boss of Ohio. I believe with the subjugate is what killed him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was a very close fight, especially for Quaker. Final Boss of Ohio was feeling very healthy, but I was not expecting the Ornn to just fall over,
Yeah.
which was kind of funny to watch, as Belda gets a free Ocean Break.
Yeah, it's nice. Also, Infernal Soul. I mean,
True.
you love to see if you're Miami. It's even in Dragons though right now, so it's not going to be very quick. But again, Miami has very good control of this game, and they also have a team comp that allows them to keep control of the game. You know, they have Ashe to give themselves vision to make plays across the map, and then they also have Ziggs who can keep pushing turrets. We saw that just happen in the top lane. He just places a satchel charge and he kills the turret in 2 seconds. Also with Lichbane, I mean, the turrets die so quickly this game. Miami can really push the lead with the team comp that they have.
Yeah, I am expecting just that to happen and continue to happen, I guess, more so. Um, this bot lane hasn't really been doing much, but we are against a very safe bot lane
Oh, they're
as
looking. Frenzy hasn't come out yet. Now it will. Abscond will land as well, and that's just a clean, easy shutdown going on to this Ornn. Probably would have rather had it on either of the other two.
Yeah, unfortunate for NIU, but I think it was just fine. I don't know if you saw that, but there was a very nice sidestep of the Searing charge there, so he did not, Final Boss of Ohio didn't get knocked up.
Right, Quaker is going to get absconded. Certain Death lands as well, and it absolutely is a certain death. Quaker goes down as well. Will greed for the turret, and that will be the price that he pays for it. But again, what are we...
No, don't worry about it. That was a very nice and well played fight for NIU.
Yeah, so again, Miami's just sort of having fun, I think, with the lead that they have right now. You know, they're greeding a little bit for these turrets, but I mean, every single time that Quaker side, he's actually been able to get a turret. So, you know, you do the math. Only takes a couple more seconds to be able to get it. So, I mean, maybe that'll be just what happens. Miami is going to take the Rift Herald, and that means empowered Bel'Veth, so they can really start continuing these pushes to like an extreme extent, especially if Bel'Veth just keeps getting resets on this empowered ultimate. You know, those Remora, those little grubbins, they really
Little
do a lot,
grubbins.
especially when you have 6 grubs. You know, the turret pushing power of Miami right now is quite literally insane.
Yeah, Miami looking to continue on here in the top lane, just doing their best to do a lot of damage here.
Bellows Breath will prevent the Enchanted Crystal Hour from actually dealing the stun damage, but he might just be taking enough damage to die really easily, and Miami's sort of full committing on this top side. 5 team members are up there, not even using the satchel charge there as well. Jinx
There's
is
a
still bot
huge
lane.
wave.
Jinx is not channeling that recall. This is a massive wave with Rift Herald. I wonder how much damage Miami can cause here. Look at all the little minions between the
love
grubs and the Remora. I mean, it's just hilarious. The NIU is trying to do the best that they can to clear this, but I think this could just be game. It's 15 minutes, and Miami is knocking on the
We're
doorstep.
winning
What can
fights.
Briar do to stop this? Both
Oh
turrets are down. The
no.
Nexus is open. Miami has 3 team members alive. Do they have enough is the question. It doesn't look like they do. They are able to crack open the Nexus, but it
It's
is
so
an ace for
close.
NIU.
Miami is completely dead. It is 16 minutes into this
But
game,
that
and
Nexus was almost dead
Nexus
too.
is
Look at how much
like
health the
2
Nexus
autos
has. Oh
away.
my gosh. So
What is
unfortunately, no more
happening?
Remora and no Dancing Rift Herald. That would have been great. If we saw Dancing Rift Herald, that would have made
Yeah.
me really happy. So NIU able to hold on, but you know, how much more can they sort of hold on?
I think I see a ward in the minimap. Yes, it looks like there is a ward, and there is going
Oh,
to
and
be a
they are
TP.
TPing there.
They all have TP.
Tom Kench is
They
there
all have
already.
TP.
They do 3 team members are flashing onto the Nexus. That's
What
game.
was that?
16 minutes and 16 seconds.
What
Miami
was
University
that?
takes game 1.
A very fast and decisive win for Miami. I think they got all but one tower there in the
Yeah.
top lane in one fell swoop, doing so much damage, having so many minions with those Remora spawns, with the uh, not Scuttle Crab,
Rift
with the
Herald,
Rift Herald.
the grubs, 6 grubs. I
Oh,
mean, Zig's turret taking ability. It was sort of just a cluster of things on the screen, so I hope that it was
yeah,
legible in some way for you. Fun game 1. I mean,
yeah,
this is kind of what I was expecting from Miami was to just sort of play comfort, have fun. We saw Evil Lobster on comfort, NTSP on comfort, Quaker on comfort. Everybody sort of on a pick that they just liked and had fun with.
yeah,
And you know, the Belveth came in clutch with those Remora at the
yeah,
end.
for sure.
I'm really looking forward to see what Miami can cook up for game number 2. Remember, this is a best of 3, so don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break before we jump into that next game. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. ESC Collegiate League of Legends. Miami University takes game number one in 16 minutes and I believe like 16 seconds up against NIU today. It is a best of three, so we're going to be jumping into game two in just a second with draft. Man, game number
Yeah.
one. I mean, there's really not much to say about game number one. It was just so funny seeing
Yeah,
all of the Remora, and, when you look at Miami's team comp from the outside not being played, you don't really see the pushing power that that team has. But once the empowered Voidling, ultimate comes through for Belveth, I mean, Trundle, Ziggs,
mhm,
even, like, Ashe and Varus, their attack speed,
right,
they're going to kill these turrets very quickly, and that's exactly what we saw. They tore through the top lane, and then when you play 4 TPs, you're bound to have at least 2 of them come through, if not 3, and we saw 3
right.
TPs to finish the game.
I think Miami hit 16 minutes and said, "I don't wanna play this anymore." So they just decided to tunnel down that top lane because they already had a tower down, um, and they saw the Jinx in the bot lane, so they figured might as well, do the opposite side of the map, and it just kinda worked.
It
And
did
that's what
just kind
makes
of
me
work.
mad is it
Yeah.
just worked, and NIU couldn't do anything about it.
No.
There's just too big of a minion wave with that, Bel'Veth, Remoras, and
And
everything.
they didn't really have a good team comp to clear minion waves, there's no
Right.
Sivir on here. It was a Jinx. They didn't have anything to do with here. Did we enjoy that? Yes, we did enjoy that. So we were just talking with the League of Legends draft coach,
Yeah.
and he asked if we enjoyed that. And we absolutely did enjoy that. So we
Yes.
are getting some information here that NTSP and Valencia are defining themselves as switching roles, which
Mhm.
is kind of funny that you have to do that as support in ADC because they're playing
Right.
in the same lane. But anyways, I'm really now interested to see what sort of fun stuff Miami's cooking up now. Do you think we're gonna see another like sort of team wide team comp like that's all about pushing, or do you think we're gonna sort of see some fun in the
I
lanes?
think we'll see some fun stuff here as we get into it. I'm not super sure what we'll see. As the Rumble is banned out. I understand the Rumble ban now because Rumble does have some pretty good wave clear, with the flamethrower and with the ultimate. Um, so being able to just say I don't want to deal with that and I actually want a giant wave crashing your base at 16 minutes. I get it. I understand.
Right.
Ornn also banned as well
I'm
as Millie.
so curious what bot side of Miami looks like with Valencia and NTSP sort of officially swapping their roles. Um, you have to think it's one of those funny combos like an Ivern, like Rengar,
Uh huh.
things like that. But as for the bans, they're mostly the same. You see the Ornn is being banned away, so maybe Miami looking towards the late game rather than sort of looking to just push ahead. Although, again, it was 16 minutes last game. You have to imagine that they're gonna sort of aim to pick another team comp that can sort of just snowball the game easily.
For sure, for sure. Cassante also going to be banned as well, um, as the Aatrox is banned by NIU. We are looking
All
at
right.
the beginning.
What are we
Looks
cooking?
like a Belveth,
Look,
probably immediately.
yeah, I mean, last game it looked great. I mean,
Right.
I think this is something that we don't see Evil Lobster on a ton. Um,
Maybe they're just taunting.
I think they're just,
Just a
reminding
reminder.
NIU of 16-minute disaster. And you know what? They landed on the last pick, which was that Ash, which went support last time. But, with NTSP and Valencia swapped, I sort of wonder if it's technically still going to to the support role, but
Right.
under NTSP this time.
Maybe. It could also. I've seen it popping up a few times of the Ash mid.
Mm.
I'm not expecting that, but maybe if we are feeling a little goofy, a little silly here, we might see it. Jin is going to be picked up by NIU. That is one of their ADC's comfort picks, as well as possibly the Blitzcrank.
Yeah, the Blitzcrank is kind of scary because usually when you play things that are a little bit
Maokai,
more fun,
actually.
you don't want to be up against a hook champ. But yeah, as you said, it's going to go for the Maokai instead. This is a double flex pretty much into the jungle or bot lane support. We typically see it support now. In fact, it's very good with Jin because you sort of set up those deadly flourishes very easily.
Right.
And it's Belva's being highlighted again. I'm not being baited this time, though. I don't know if we're going to see Eva Lobster back on it again or if he wants to try something more fun. It is
The
going to be an Nautilus
Nautilus.
now. I do want to say something. It could be mid. Fishing Nautilus is really fun. I mean, you play AP, you go stuff like
Oh,
Hextech. Um,
electrocute.
oh, it's Scion.
Scion.
Oh, you know what this probably is? It's probably Scion Ash.
You think so?
I think it's Scion
Is
Ash
that a
bot lane,
Nautilus mid?
and I think it's Nautilus mid.
It could also be Nautilus jungle. This was something that we saw a few
Oh.
times. Um, Last season, I believe, early last season. It popped up and then it kind of just died because it's not really good at all, but it is playable. Um, as it looks like a Gangplank locked in for
Oh,
NIU.
Gangplank is kind of sucky, because first of all, that's like Final Boss of Ohio is like one of his favorite champs.
Right, right, right,
This is
right.
something that he played all the time a year ago when it was like really, really popular, but now it's not as great anymore. He takes way too long to build up, and especially against, Miami's team comp. If Sion and Ash get ahead, I mean, what is he gonna do? Ash can just keep slowing this Gangplank, and he's sort of just stuck in place. And if his first barrels don't land, he's just kind of screwed. So the team fights are gonna be iffy. I don't know if Miami is even gonna be looking for team fights though, especially if this Nautilus is going mid and building AP. They're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sort of looking into side lanes and just trying to snowball games off of that.
I will say on the receiving end of a AP Nautilus as of last night, it is not very fun to play against, especially when they tunnel vision the ADC. So this Jin probably will have a not very fun time as Belveth and Ziggs are both banned by NIU.
Though I do want to remind you, that was the game you got the pentakill, didn't it?
I did get a pentakill. That was my
So
first Smolder pentakill. I'm
you
very proud
never
of
know
it.
what can happen. Viego's being highlighted here. I actually really like that because these are fantastic champions to steal from. Being able to become Nautilus is actually just like the best thing that Viego can do, pretty much, other than maybe like any other engaged support like Alistar
If
or
you
Leona.
kill
But
a Scion and then die as the Scion, do you get poofed back into Viego, or do you turn into zombie?
I think we'll see the interaction when we get into game because I actually think the answer to that. It's a really hard because technically you do get champion passives.
Right.
Um,
So but
but
like
I don't know
when
what happens when Viego dies technically. So
does he turn back in normally? Would he turn back into Viego, or does he? Because I know in Overwatch, the other game I cast, when you are playing Echo and you duplicate, you do turn
you
back
do turn back,
into
yes.
Echo afterwards. So I don't remember how Viego
Right. We'll have to
works.
see. Kog'Maw is being picked up, and now it's sort of just like I don't know. So if we
I
assume
don't know where
Scion,
anyone
Ash,
is.
bot lane, and Nautilus mid, it's Kog'Maw top, which is fun into Gangplank actually because he will never, ever, ever, ever land a barrel on you.
Hear me out. Um, it is actually going to be a Hecarim top and Kog'Maw mid, and then a
Oh,
Nautilus jungle.
okay.
That's my
So
prediction.
it's Nautilus jungle versus Nautilus mid here. Let's see what the swaps are and see what happens. Meanwhile, NYU picking up the Gwen is probably going to be either flex mid or top because Gangplank can also do the same thing here, honestly. I would assume that it's flexed top because she probably wants that Kog'Maw match. Maybe it's not going to be as crazy as we thought, and it's just going to be the Ash Nautilus.
This would be actually a pretty boring
Well,
choice. I
let's
mean,
not say that.
Kog'Maw mid, but
Kog'Maw
like
mid is fun.
otherwise, a pretty boring choice by for
Right, I mean,
Miami.
I assume Quaker's gonna go AP because he loves those, like, poke AP champs, so in my opinion, AP Kog'Maw's just, like, right up his alley.
I think the lock-in gets finished at 10.
Right, so I think that's what we're seeing here is it is just gonna simply be the Scion top, Scion top really, really struggles into
Right.
it's a abysmal matchup for him, but, he'll just sit under turret, make plays with the ultimate, just stack up your health on your W passive, and just be a bulky
Right.
annoyance to him. We could see a lot of cross map plays because Enchanted Crystal Arrow and the Choo Choo, which I hope is the skin for the Scion ultimate, it better be the Mecha Scion Choo
Mm.
Choo skin.
Choo choo.
Um, they can make some amazing, really funny combo plays where, Ash Arrow hits, then the Scion ultimate
Right.
hits, and then Scion knockup hits, and you kind of just can't do anything. It sort of reminds me of the Cho'Gath Rakan in Earth clips. I don't know if you've seen
I've
those,
not.
but it's just infinite knockup, 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 and they can't do anything about it.
uh
So not as crazy of a draft as we were sort of thinking with the Scion Ash
Right.
bot lane. But it is Valencia on Ash. Like
Right.
we do need to remind ourselves, typically NTSP is playing ADC and is on the Ash, but no, this time NTSP is playing the Nautilus. Valencia is playing the Ash. I'm actually kind of excited to see, what she can do on a carry and what NTSP can do to sort of set up fights.
Yeah, and we'll have to see once we get back into the game very soon. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back starting in game number 2.
Welcome back, everybody, to Summoner's Rift. We're hopping in a little bit late just because we had some tech issues on the other end, and the action is already starting, especially with a lane swap happening. And, I have to assess this a little bit. I was not expecting to walk into a lane swap, but hold on. Quaker is going to sidestep Broccoli's W. Will be able to avoid the stun. He's going to get hit by the barrel here and will end up surviving. Does not actually even need to use his flash there. But yeah, lane swaps in 2024. Thoughts?
It's very interesting. We did see this a few weeks ago. The Scion specifically swapping to that bot lane and doing well. And I think it was also against a Gwyn that game as
Yes,
well.
I think you're right.
So this isn't the first time we've seen this exact matchup, but we do see the Maokai going up top lane to match it. Looks like Scion is just
Yeah.
walking at this Jhin.
Just smacking. Meanwhile, 3 top lane flash twisted advance spells death for NTSP, but Final Boss of Ohio is able to then pick up a response kill onto Reloaded, but Valencia has been hooked, is trying to dodge away the best of her ability. Will the sapling kill? It looks like it will not, so she is able to survive there just barely. And bot lane, it's just free turret damage for Miami for Final Boss of Ohio solo goad going over to him. And I mean, funny
This
game
is,
so
yeah,
far. I
I mean,
actually think that what happened with Miami is Quagert's gonna get now the treatment of the top lane of the twisted advance landing. Quager's trying to deal as much damage back as he can, but it won't be enough. Doesn't
maybe.
look like any sort of surprise is going to be
So
happening with passive.
when we joined in here, we did see it was already 3-3. Sion had a kill, so did bot lane. So I'm assuming that Sion was just sitting bot lane. Or maybe they were sitting top lane like they were before and they just got a weird
Yeah, I was gonna mention
beginning
they
kill.
Miami's been played the Nautilus into a Gwen before, and I believe what they did is uh, as long as Gwen doesn't have flash, you can 5-stack the top bush, and as
Yes.
soon as she walks into lane, she will die 100% of the time. Even though she has skip and slash, if you do not have flash on Gwen, which most of the time you take Ghost, Nautilus hook into Scion knockup into Ashlow, I mean, it's 100% a death every single time. And then Miami did this last time. They just leave their Ash lane up there. And then
Right.
they just swap the Scion back into bot lane and just sort of let it be. We see this Maokai roaming a lot for NIU, and I like it from them. It's a great choice. But here comes the train in the bot lane to a big knockup,
Yes.
but it's not going to actually secure anything. We'll just
Yeah.
get him off.
It is very interesting how NIU is choosing to deal with this lane swap, swapping the, or just keeping Jin alone. It does look like it's been working just fine for Miami because the Scion is so beefy, and Jin doesn't really do very much damage early game,
No,
other than with his like fourth shot.
yeah, and I liked what Final Boss of Ohio did there is by walking back in, he sort of forces Viego to stay around just like a couple seconds long. They do still have first move into bot side. I mean, that is the big issue with lane swapping right now in 2024 is you sort of just 100% give up bot side of the map. And I think Final Boss of Ohio is going to fall here as well. It's a very nice Bramble Smash to cancel the knockup. And yeah, Shutdown Go does go over to this Viego, who is going to be a pretty terrifying target this game. But top side, here comes Evil Lobster with that ultimate. Will secure the kill. NTSP will fall in response as TP also comes top side. And it looks like Beachillin is looking for something here, but it's a 2v1. There isn't really any response from the rest of NIU, so it's pretty much just Beachillin just
Yeah.
chilling in the bush. And
Chilling.
Mountain Drake is going to go over to NIU.
This is kind of really awkward for Miami losing. I mean, I guess they're not really losing any gold early. It's basically even. But losing the early dragon, it looks like a double
Oh,
flash.
double flash from
And a
Valenzola, flash from
slow.
B chillin', but you can't catch up to an Ash that's been
Heckram
slowed.
doesn't care.
Heckram does take the red buff, and B chillin' went around the other end, so Ghost's gonna get it, but the Spectral Maw is going to secure the kill. Goes over to Fury. Meanwhile, again, bot side, there is just so much fighting in this game. Hex Tech Flash over the wall. The Dredge line does not connect, though, for NTSP.
Very
Oh,
awkward
man.
for Miami. You play this comp trying to get in a very early lead and to just push it, but then you don't really get that lead. In fact, you're kind of behind only by a little bit. But with the dragon being taken, it's not very good. It's kind of scary for you. In my opinion, at least you have that hyper scaling mid lane, so maybe you just kind of want to wait. But I don't really know what the plan is here for Miami.
It is what we expected. It is the AP Kog'Maw. It does have Comet, does have Ghost actually as well. So I mean, look at how much poke damage that is. I mean, if another ult leveling artillery lands onto that Viego, he just dies, and this Kog'Maw only has like half an item.
Right. In Kog'Maw, it's kind of the same thing that I think Smolder is. With that AP build, is you just do so much damage with your like wave clear ability.
Flash forced out from Reloaded with the unstoppable onslaught. Final Boss of Ohio is going to find this Viego, who's going to go invisible. I wonder if Final Boss of Ohio just greeds for turret here. Looks like he won't. Spectral Maw comes out. It's a nice sidestep from Final Boss of Ohio. Means he's going to be able to walk away scot-free. Flashes the emote even, just as an added
that
bonus.
was a well played. That side stuff was very nice for Final Boss of Ohio, going to be staying alive in the bot lane, as Quager is kind of having to play kind of a bullet hell here.
Yeah, Cannon Barrage is available, so he has to be very careful. 3 grubs were already taken for Miami here, and we see Viego really camping this bot side of the map. Spectral Maw, again, just dodge flash the emote Final Boss of Ohio, though he's not out just yet. Deadly Flourish lands, and, I spoke too soon, and he is going to fall here. And also, Jin is pretty good up against this Scion because the trap passive means that he's slowed immediately when he comes up from that passive.
And it's going to be Void Grubs for Miami. At least they get something on the opposite side of the map, going to take advantage of that Viego just sitting in the bot lane. I This isn't really great in my opinion. I think we kind of got lost in the sauce a little bit here. Um, and we're kind of, I mean, we're not losing, obviously.
No,
It's
and you know, the reason why we're not losing is look at the CS leads in
right.
every single lane. Obviously, don't compare Gwen to Sion. Actually, compare Gwen to Ashe because that's the lane matchup that she's had to face. NTSP is in a little bit of trouble. Oof. Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes wide. I mean, it just spells death even further for NTSP, who's trying his
On a
best to get
run.
away. But you can't do much against the Heartbreaker. Broccoli picks up another one. This Viego is going to be very scary. NIU is looking great looking into this mid game, especially with one dragon already. They're probably going to have first look onto the
Tower.
spot side, but look at Final Boss of Ohio. I like what he's doing here. Not trying to push this turret too hard. Knows he's not under pressure whatsoever just yet, so he can let the turret hit as many minions as possible to waste their EXP.
That is actually super smart by him.
Oh, he's going to run into a bush. Chillin is there. He's likely to fall here as well. It is a Scion, though, and he is already starting to push. He's already actually dealing a fair bit of damage. Spectrum Law will prevent him from actually executing the Gangplank, but able to pick up a turret, will die, unfortunately, face-checking that bush, though, and now Dragon up in 45. NIU has complete control right now. Bramble smash backwards onto Quagert, but not much follow-up other than a cannon barrage to slow, but here comes Evil Lobster with a decent amount of damage. Quagert finishes off the kill. The Jhin is going to finish him off. Quagert is slowed once more, and here comes Broccoli. Broccoli is able to pick up another one, and this Kog'Maw passive isn't able to do a whole lot. Fury is doing his best, meanwhile, top lane to defend as much as he can, but Gwen can't immune the turret, can only immune herself, so that turret's fairly low.
How busted should that be, though?
That would be kind of funny.
Miami going to be looking to get this second tower on the top side versus NIU's 0 towers. Going to be pushing this wave fairly quickly. Final Boss of Ohio rotating to that mid lane to try to get another tower.
Yeah, I mean, I think Final Boss of Ohio is be just blindly pushing and dying every 2 seconds. He's practically playing Inting Scion without actually playing Inting Scion, you know? I'd like to see Hullbreaker come out from him, although it looks like he's just sort of going 100% lethality this game. Mid lane, here comes Chillin. Deadly Flourish lands, and yeah, ouch it definitely is. Reloaded is on a killing spree. Here comes Quagert with those living artilleries. Yeah, they're dealing some decent amount of poke. It sort of reminds me of Porky Poke right now. But red team does slay the Cloud Drake. Let's see what it is. It is Infernal, which kind of sucks for Miami. Because if Miami's game plan is sort of just like not care about anything except turret pushes, you sort of have a cap on that time. Because if NIU gets Infernal Soul, it's really going to be difficult, especially against a Jhin and a Gangplank.
Yeah, you're kind of on a timer here, because you obviously don't want the Infernal, but you can't really fight for any of these dragons because of how the map is set up here.
Unstoppable Onslaught is going bot lane. Will it cancel the TP? I don't believe it did. No. Yeah. Fall here. They're trying to look on to be chillin', and Evil Lobster is able to pick up the shutdown, but meanwhile on the other end, there's tons of flash trades. Broccoli is unstoppable. Valencia is kiting for her life, but will it be enough? Bramble smash slow into the Jhin shot will be enough, and it's almost an ace for NIU, and they're going to be able to pick up this Rift Herald as well.
Maybe the Scion gets something. I don't think he has there's enough damage or minions to get this tower here in the bot lane, but he is definitely going to be doing getting a lot of farm. In the meantime, both top and mid are going to be pushed in. Maybe he does get this tower. No, there's
Cannon Barrage is nice. We'll have to see how much Miami can defend here, because look at the gold difference. I mean, you just saw that fight. It was a complete wipe for NIU, but the gold difference is like pretty much even.
He does just get that tower.
Yeah, I think he just greeds for this. Yep, absolutely. With the sign, you might as well. I mean, 700 gold, yes, you give away
so much damage to that.
Yeah, with lethality, I mean, it's just absolutely huge. NTSP is caught up here. Valencia is going to try her best, but the positioning is just not there. Not used to playing this Ashe. NTSP is going to be locked up as well, and I think Miami, you know, they're having fun, but if their game plan is really, again, this turret pushing and distracting for Sion, they need to actually distract and not, you know, die and position themselves in really awkward spots.
At 15 minutes, it is 7 and 21.
Yeah,
But
but
the
again,
gold.
look at the gold difference. It's 2K for NIU, which, yes, it's a decent amount at this time, but it's not nearly what Miami had. It's
Coming
great.
out.
Evil Lobster's going to be able to just run out of there with this ghost.
It's very interesting to see how we are playing this matchup. I am very cautiously optimistic with this almost no gold lead. 2000 is a lot early, but we're starting to get to the point where it's not super important in TSP. Going to be checking the jungle. Not going to be going to spot out the Viego and going to walk away.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a good point. I'm sort of intrigued to see what happens in the next 3 minutes, I would say.
Right.
Because at this point, the game was over for Miami. Isn't that crazy to think about? Last game, it was already done.
Yeah.
So, keeping that in mind, Miami, you have to think if they're not accelerated already, they have to already be on edge. It's final boss of Ohio. Again, caught in the side, and it doesn't really look like Miami can get much out of this. Here comes the Nature's Grasps.
I don't think
And the
double
curtain call doesn't
ultimate
enough.
was really worth it for
Well,
them.
Evil Lobster's on the other end. Onslaught of Shadows is enough to get the shutdown gold onto this Jin. How much can he do and kite away from these snips? Is in a 1v2, can't really do a whole lot. Another reset. Broccoli is huge, 7-0 on this Viego. Here comes B Chillin. Valencia's in an
Oh,
awful
no.
spot. Double kill for this Viego. And Fury picks up the last one. And the Quaker, it's just happy fluttering his wings in the bush into top lane.
What is happening?
You know, it's funny because I think Miami has a really easy way of just ending this game quickly because they can sort of just turret push and not give anything, but they keep positioning and like giving free kills like this one away. When
Yeah.
you know, as soon as the Cannon Barrage TP gets channeled, you just leave. You're not gonna get turret there, so it's just like sort of playing silly, and now the gold lead is gonna actually just start to keep increasing for NIU when it was actually surprisingly even considering the kill difference.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised that we've kind of let this get to this point before kind of locking in and deciding that we're done with the silly. Because league matches have this way of going from being very even to very skewed in one side
Yeah, like
very
again,
quickly.
here NTSP on a ward is actually gonna be able to cinch the dredge line between the two of NYU. Ignite already used onto this Gwen. See what Final Boss of Ohio has in store. I actually just noticed he has unsealed sealed spellbook this game, which I actually kind of like.
I was
You know,
gonna mention that and then I forgot.
all right, Needle works so much healing. It's a nice unstoppable onslaught, and he will actually get away. Meanwhile, bot side, NIU 100% easily takes away that, and Fury is godlike on this Glen. Another deadly flourish, meanwhile, lands onto NTSP. Dredge line won't get him away. And it's really just spiraling for Miami now. They really are not able to get much out of these deaths that they're getting themselves into. Fury has some shutdown gold. This could be like Evil Lobster's third shutdown, and it will be more shutdown gold being put onto this Hecarim. And I think if you're Miami, sort of the game plan here is to just pray that this Sion gets an incredibly long push. The flash from Valencia, but a fantastic deadly flourish into the Bramble Smash means another kill, and it'll go over to the Gangplank, and now you can just sort of push freely, and they're able to pretty much kill anybody from Miami that can get in their way.
Miami's kind of losing at their own game here of just doing whatever they want. Evil Lobster trying his best to beat this Viego in the top lane, going to get shut down. And Sion's just top lane, just ignoring the rest of the map, going to
Right.
have to force out that rocket barrage.
Yeah, these cannon barrages are so annoying for Miami. They're so annoying because every single time you get that free push, you actually don't. The cannon barrage just comes down, and then all that minion wave is gone. That was a cannon wave that just got killed in 2 seconds because of cannon barrage. I wouldn't even be surprised if the first upgrade that was chosen by this Gangplank was the increased shots rather than the big um, bomb in the center, because you just want it to last longer so you can kill all the minions.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see, like, I wasn't expecting this Gangplank to matter as much as he has here.
Well, let's see what Miami can do on Baron, but they're taking so low. Look at the living artillery shots coming out from Quagert, and now it's just the Maokai left, and he is dead. Meanwhile, Evil Lobsters on the other side picks up a shutdown. Is this Baron for Miami all of a sudden? It might just be. Did NIU just throw this game away by trying to go for Baron? Very greedy. Let's see if Broccoli can steal this, though. Remember, he is a Viego, 9 and very fed. Unstoppable Onslaught is coming. I think I like this play from Final Boss. Try to just pressure mid lane. You know, it would be nice to give Baron to him, but it's sort of whatever. Get this Viego off of Baron. This Baron is what gets you back into this game very easily, and that's what exactly happened. Blue team has slain Baron.
What is happening in this game?
This is like my solo queue nightmares.
Yeah, this is so interesting to watch. Miami actually has a gold lead
That's
at
insane.
12 and 32.
It's insane.
They have a like 300 gold lead currently.
Yeah,
3 dragons down, or 0 dragons to 3.
I just don't really know what NIU was thinking. I think they thought that their gold lead must have been like 10K or something. They were winning every fight clean, but they were winning every fight clean because they were like 3v1ing every fight, you know? As soon as Miami 5v5, the living artillery damage plus them being on Baron, it was like completely undoable. They so overstood their welcome. Maokai was bound to die, but additionally, Evil Lobster flanking and getting the shutdown on B Chillin was huge. And then free Baron, and all Final Boss of Ohio has to do is just distract the Viego.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I know I keep saying that, but it really is just watching how Miami plays this match. They're just playing the map better, I think. Doing a lot of damage. It looks like Cyan is going to be doing so much damage to this Gangplank, but
Field Unstoppable Onslaught comes out. Nice dodge from the Deadly. Flourish is going to be able to trade. The Curtain Call doesn't even pick up a assist, so it's just a 1-for-1 clean solo kills for each team member. Ooh, Evil Lobster is going to get Spectral Mod. Broccoli deals so much damage. Evil Lobster is running around in circles. A nice Enchanted Crystal Arrow sets up. This is a big shutdown. Will they be able to get it in time? They will. That's like his 5th shutdown. A huge dredge connects. Double kill on this Hecarim. Evil Lobster is trampling them right now on this horse.
that was such a good dredge line by NTSP. I think that was a max range, just barely clipping that Maokai. Going to end up getting a double kill for Evil Lobster, going to put him even further ahead. If we could see a gold difference here. I want to see how much.
Oh, Quaker's in trouble. I mean, there's no hope for them here. Not even Seraphs is going to save him. Look at that gold difference. Let's see it.
The horse, Hecarim, is
14K.
3,000 gold ahead of this 10-1 and 10 Viego.
I mean, like, I don't even understand how that happens. You can look at the CS and understand that, but like, I genuinely
Scion has more gold.
Right. I really think what genuinely happened for NYU is, remember, in game you can't see gold difference.
Right.
You only see kills and you sort of judge based on that for the most part, and CS sometimes. Yep, that's what I was sort of expecting to happen. Unstoppable Onslaught again. Nice dodge from the barrel. This Titanic Hydra doing a fair bit of damage, but now the turret's coming out. Cannon Barrage as well. Final Boss of Ohio is absolutely dead. I'm surprised he's not just sort of walking back into turret and
just wasting
trying to get some damage. But yeah, just wasting time. Pretty much what I expected. But yeah, I think what NIU must have thought with that Baron play that happened a while ago is, oh, we have a 10-0.
Right.
Like, we win every single fight. Like, this game is over. But, like, they don't even have the gold lead right now. They're up 20 kills. Like, you have to understand, 20 kills. Not 20. And they're down 2K? That's insane. They're looking for a play here, though. Nice fast from Valensula, but she is going to get slowed up by this Curtain Call. But actually, she's just going to be able to get away, but a flash over the wall spells probably death for her. And meanwhile, mid lane NTSB is caught out as well. Evil Lobster, though, is looking topside. Look how much damage he does by kicking. Onslaught of Shadows does a lot, trying his best to dodge away from most of the healing of Fury, and is able to pick up maybe his 7th shutdown of the game, but is going to get shut down himself. And now this could be actually a pretty big issue because they are pushing pretty hard here, but Quaker is here with the Ghost, going to be using those living artilleries. Knockup goes in onto this Maokai.
So much damage.
Yeah, so much damage is coming out. Those living artilleries. Another will sort of finish off that kill. Now Broccoli's in trouble too. Look at how much. I mean, Quaker making this work. Shut down onto the Viego. They can keep chasing here. Living artillery does another one. So low, and that's the next one. 2 shutdowns onto Quaker. The living artilleries, I mean, they must have costed like hundreds of mana at that point, just firing them out so many times, but they all kept landing. A huge fight for him.
That was incredibly well played, well placed living artilleries by Quaker on that Kog'Maw. And I'm just baffled that this is working. I thought this was gonna be over. Like you said, it's a 20 kill lead for NIU, still at that 20 kill lead, but they are down 4 or 2,000 gold, which at this point, sure, it means nothing. 2,000 gold.
It's a little
means
less.
nothing. But it's also, they are even while they are up 20 kills on Miami.
And it's not even like, oh, it's objective. That's they're losing. No, they're at Soul Point right now on Infernal Soul. And that's actually something that Miami needs to be a little bit worried about, is sort of ending this game before that happens, or stalling the game to make sure that they don't get that. And Evil Lobster dying here would be a bit of an issue, though. That Drag's not up for another 2 minutes. Let's see what he can do here. Does have that Onslaught of Shadows available to get out if he wants to. Already so low, actually able to survive, and the rest of his team is there to back him up. It's a double kill going over to Quaker. Big damage from Beach Hillin is coming out as a response, and so is this Jin, who's just been sort of spamming the curtain calls this game. Look at the slow, look at the living artilleries. One more will do it. Can he land it? Quaker now is changing his focus, though, onto this Jin. That's another living artillery kill. Shutdown goes onto him, but so many slows means the traps will kill him. Final Boss of Ohio picks up the last kill onto Beach Chillin'. It's just pretty much the top laner's alive now. Final Boss of Ohio is that Baron Pit clearing out some vision, and it's just, what a funny game. What we get to watch too, it's really just like watching Quaker play like darts pretty much with the enemy.
I don't know if you saw Quaker's mana bar there, but he went from full mana to completely empty at the end there.
Absolutely. Final Boss of Ohio. He's just running around, trying his best here. Just trying to sort of style on him, say, yeah, you can kill me, but you don't have to land everything. And we'll just push the wave out with his
He doesn't even care.
Oh
my god.
I don't want to say anything because this game is really still up in the air.
Yeah.
NIU can totally take this, especially with drag up in 30 seconds. I mean, Final Boss of Ohio is not going to be available, does have the TP, but Baron is already up, and NIU is already on it. But let's see, if Quaker can come over here in time, he might be able to deal a lot of damage, but Baron's already dead, you know?
Yeah,
it's so low. Miami does have first move right now.
Crystal Arrow.
Yeah, it does land. Living Artillery very close to killing Beach Hill in there. The Nature's Grasp is going to land on the Quaker, though, and that's the worst target you could imagine if you're Miami. Shut down onto him. This could be bad for Miami. Dredgeline doesn't connect, which means NTSB is falling as well. And this is just Infernal Soul and potentially maybe the game. They do have Baron available, just no minion waves really push. But yeah.
Evil Lobster.
Oh, he does get Infernal. That's actually huge for Miami. And Final Boss of Ohio TP's into the top lane. Is Evil Lobster likely to fall here, or is he? I mean, NIU is so low, but Viego is very healthy, which is a concern.
There's no way Final Boss like finishes.
No,
right?
because Beachlin is there and does have Baron empowered.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, but Unstoppable Onslaught lands on him. Maybe I spoke too soon for NIU.
Oh, there was a Gwen back.
Yeah, Gwen is back though, so those Baron minions are still there. Now Final Boss of Ohio with the Ghost is just going to be running away to the best of his ability. Flash Spectral Maw will stun him up. Oh, pretty good shield though. Gonna have to walk through turret. Heartbreaker doesn't even land though, doesn't even get the slow off. Final Boss of Ohio gets the slow into the knock up. Oh, is he gonna get away though? Spectral Maw doesn't land either. Is he gonna get away?
Is he gonna kill?
Try to kill. I don't think he can get this kill. Yeah, he's finally gonna fall here. I don't want to speak too soon, but
Was
yeah,
this
he's absolutely going
fight
to fall.
coming
Meanwhile,
out?
mid lane, Evil Lobster is able to pick up the
Uh,
kill onto this Maokai.
I think if he didn't try to go for the kill, he totally got out there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I think he was just trying to have a little bit of fun, trying to get the kill there. I think it's fine.
Yeah, the gold lead is now negligible. It's even across the board.
It's
Miami is
yeah.
thankfully able to stall out the Infernal Soul, which is huge because, I mean, they already die pretty quickly when they're locked up, but they will die even faster, you know? It's just going to be up to Quaker's positioning. He has living artillery. He can stand so far away in these fights. And then, I mean, it's just paying attention to that final boss of Ohio's TP timer. Once he has that TP backup, he can look to end this game, and then Miami just has to distract.
I know we keep talking about this, but I just find it so interesting. We are down 20 kills, and the gold difference is less than 500 in Miami's favor.
It's just insane. I mean,
It's
it's
incredible.
truly incredible because, I mean, like the turrets, everything is in Miami's favor, and they're looking for a play here. Unstoppable Onslaught is coming out. It is going to not hit anybody. Oh, but it's a nice shot, but it's immediately going to get cleansed. There's lots of pings happening from both teams here. Final Boss of Ohio is just proxying, but fight to do. Pay attention to Quaker in this fight. How much damage can he get off? He cannot be locked up. Fury is running them over, though, and now he's caught in an awful situation. Final Boss of Ohio, though, is on their inhibitor. How much can he get out of this? It looks like he's just trying to sort of clear the minion wave, not even do a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, if he clears the minion wave, that means that NIU cannot do much with this lead. They don't have any waves to push because they are all going to be dead. So even though they do get almost a team kill, they don't really get much out of it, and there's no objectives to be done, so it's not like they'll get any towers or anything like that.
Yes, Dragon up in a minute, though. So 2 minutes, excuse me. So Miami sort of doesn't have the chance to throw another one of those fights away, and Quaker isn't. But that made me cringe a little bit. It was so scary, you know. Twisted Advance just spells death for Quaker, absolutely. But look at these living artilleries. Very nice Enchantal Crystal Hour will land on this Viego, but Miami doesn't really want to look for the fight just yet. They know that this Dragon is up in a minute 30. The death timers are starting to get a little bit longer, and this is Infernal Soul for NIU. Baron spawns after Dragon here. It's a nice Nature's Grasp, but a fantastic immunity. Quaker is going to be locked up, though. Bribe Broccoli, and so will NTSP. This becomes an issue. It's a nice kill secure onto the Jhin, though. But, I mean, how much is this able to get done? They need to stop these backs. I don't think they're going to be able to. It's a nice TP from Final Boss, but yeah, they don't stop any of these backs. They don't have living artillery to do so. I think he's going to be able to get this inhib, and he absolutely is. So you see how much that is worth. Doesn't seem like a whole lot. Going to just sort of kill the minions here as per usual.
I mean, it was funny the first time, but I think after the second and third time of him going into base, dying, and only getting minions off of it, it's kind of...
Well, he got inhib this time.
Yeah. I still don't think it was worth.
If you get that constant push bot side, I mean, Miami's game plan is literally just the Scion will end the game, hopefully. You know, like they could probably 5v5 and do something, but I mean, genuinely what they're playing for here is just, you know, living artillery stall, you know, poke in these team fights, don't get collapsed on easily by this Maokai, you know, keep your corners in check, and just have the Scion split push and be annoying. Top side, Evil Lobster is looking for a fight here. He does so much damage onto the Jhin. Beach Hill is looking for the kill. They're going to trade 1 for 1, though unfortunately shutdowns go onto each, and Viego is going to finally pick up their Infernal Soul, which is absolutely massive for NIU.
Yeah, it's kind of scary for Miami now with these dragons being secured for the NIU. So I'm kind of worried to see how they deal with the rest of this match. It is getting kind of late game, 35 minutes into this match. And you've got to start being a little scared because of the items are going to be mostly finished.
Yeah, I think Sion's just going for this like minion wave. Yeah, look, he straight up kills the minion wave. And now he's in the base. And
What's he doing?
He's doing Scion things. I think he's just going for the inhib here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just get some damage. I mean, I don't know.
He's doing something.
Doesn't even really do a whole lot of damage. Fortunately, Hullbreaker doesn't do a whole lot right now. But yeah, let's see what Miami can do. They need to stall this game. They need living artillery to sort of carry these team fights, you know? Um, but it's looking really tough, you know? You're getting to the point in the game where NIU just sort of has a team comp and you sort of just have a weird conglomeration of stuff.
Right.
Ooh, double Nature's Grasp land there. That's not what Miami wanted. Quaker is very far away from this fight, but he kind of likes that. The Lobster is in the thick of it, though. How much is he going to be able to heal up? It's not a whole lot. Baron is right around the corner as well for NIU, so this is could just be the game, actually, straight up.
Yeah,
Let's see what
that
they do here. They're sort of hesitant, actually, which is interesting, but they are looking to take this Baron. They take it very quickly, and this is looking
not
very dire
fantastic.
for
Yeah,
Miami.
um, that early uh disadvantage, I will say by Miami, is kind of catching up with them. They've not really done anything. They did even up the gold a little bit, and then now it's back into NIU's favor for about 5,000 gold. It's getting less and less important and impactful as the game goes on, sure, but then we see like Sion just dying mid. This Quager is going to die here in the
Yeah.
top lane as well on
Does
Kog'Maw.
actually trade against Chillin, which is nice. Stops that push up on the top side, but there's a push happening mid lane. Let's see how much Miami can stall. I mean, Miami has the team comp that sort of has the ability to stall this game for up to like 50 minutes. Do
Right.
I want that? I don't
Probably
know.
not.
I don't even know if they want that. They might just want to sort of say, all right, we had fun with this team comp. It stopped working though. Let's sort of GG go next. We can win this
Yeah.
next game, you know?
It'll be interesting to see how, if Miami does want to try to play this out a little bit, how their fights are going to go. There is a Gwyn here sitting in this top jungle, probably just watching, make sure nothing silly happens. Going to walk away, skip and dash away over the wall, and it's back to just two bot lanes in the top lane.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're sort of just going to be sitting here until Elder, and it's just going to be an Elder fight, you know? And you have to think that Elder fight goes in NIU's favor unless Living Artilleries can really carry. The good thing is, you know, the map is set up in the favor of Living Artillery, right? But you really, Quaker has struggled in every single time he gets hit by these Nature's Grasps. The Maokai is so annoying against Quaker, and he's not able to really position himself in a way that gets him in a comfortable position to fire off those shots untouched.
Say everyone is full build except for the two supports.
Sion's going top lane right now, but they're already ready to respond. This is a bit early. Oh, he
I
actually
think
stopped it.
staking.
Yeah, now there's a really nice flank that goes in onto Quaker. Reloaded's on the Rampage with the curtain call. Now I don't even know what you can do for Miami. Across the board, they are in trouble. Fury is unstoppable. Final Boss of Ohio can't even TP away from that. I think this is just going to be the game. They don't really
Yeah.
have a minion wave just yet, but they'll get one soon. Cannon Barrage comes down. Nature's Grab, Twisted Advance follows. NTSB is doing his best. But, you know, Valencia's actually firing off a decent amount of damage. Kill the Gangplank here. How much can she continue to do, though? This is an Baron-empowered super minion wave. Don't have a ton of minions.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. She does a lot of damage, and the Hecarim also does a vast amount of damage, so I'm expecting to see another quick, maybe get a kill and then force them out. Not super sure here.
Oh, Nature's Grasp is scary. They do pretty well, but yeah, no. Valencia is absolutely screwed there. They pick up both of those kills there. Broccoli is godlike, and that's absolutely the game. NIU secures game number 2 in a very silly manner with 694 total kills.
Yes, 64 kills to 30 is not what you want to see. I think Miami got a little too silly for their own good
Yeah.
there. Trying to do some things that probably weren't smartest in the long run, obviously. Just trying to have a little bit of fun
Yeah.
before maybe hopefully finishing out another 50-minute game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to see what happens. game number 3? Do we
Yeah.
see more of the silly? Do we see them sort of go back to somewhat silly but more structured team comp? Because it sort
Right.
of felt like this team comp's idea was just get ahead early, and then
We didn't.
that just sort of didn't
Yeah.
happen. So, unfortunate loss for Miami, but again, it's a best of 3 series. We're headed to Silver Scrapes, game number 3. Don't go anywhere. We have more. Who knows? Who knows what we have next? I have no idea, frankly. So please don't go anywhere. You're gonna want to be here for this next one. Trust me. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Game number 3 between Miami University and NIU Collegiate League of Legends match. We're jumping right into draft here. We saw 16-minute game victory for Miami in game number 1, and then NIU struck back strong, although it was sort of iffy on and off every so often for them. But going into this game number 3, I'm really curious what Miami goes for. Do they go for more just like off the walls fun, or do they sort of do what they did in the first game where it's like a really coherent team comp, but it's also kind of silly?
Yeah, I'm expecting the first game type of composition here. Personally, I that's what I'd prefer. Even if they must be silly, have it in some way that makes sense. Belveth, Milio, Nautilus, and Rumble all banned away.
We must be silly, Caden. We must.
If we must, then I would like a coherent silliness.
Oh, a little bit of a draft error, so we're gonna take a little short break. Some technical things have happened. So if we see some fun stuff,
Yeah,
let's think hypothetical. Clear mind.
hypothetically.
What do you want to see?
Man, okay, this hasn't been played by Miami since Troy was here,
Mhm.
but I would like to see an Aphelios top.
Oh, I remember
I
that.
remember that it was really
Yes.
funny. We've just absolutely destroyed it in the top lane. So if we must be silly, maybe something along the lines of an Aphelios top might be the right amount of silly.
I love it. I'm trying to think of what I would want to see. Of course, I always love casting a soul.
Mhm.
It's my baby. I love a good dragon.
Me
I'd
too.
love to see Smolder. You
Yes.
know, I'd love to see NTSP on Smolder.
We have not seen a Smolder yet, I believe, at least not from any game that Miami has been in. I think he's been banned,
Yeah, we've banned
but
him a few times. People have banned him against us. I don't know how much NTSP has really played him, although NTSP does like Ezreal every so often,
yeah.
so might see him go to that. We are going to be hopping right back into draft, though. Sorry about that. It's a little bit of a tech error, a little bit of an error on the drafting side, so nothing to worry about. We're right back into it. I presume the bans are going to be exactly the same
Right.
as they were up to that point.
Silliness not just included in the compositions, but also in the drafts being
Right.
weird as well. Uh, I'm expecting it. I think these bands all just have to be exactly the same. Maybe we're just struggling to find
I think there were only 2 bands
characters.
placed, right? So these next 2 bands I don't think we've seen yet, so they can be whatever they
Right.
want. But
Sante.
yeah, same
Uh,
bands as last time, except I think it was Ornn
I'm
instead of
going to guess
Nautilus.
an Aatrox. Yeah, we don't want Final
Right.
Boss, or they don't want Final Boss to play Aatrox. We obviously do because he is very good at that Aatrox. But banning that away so that they do not have to deal with it makes sense for an IU. Looks like I don't really know what we're going to first pick. Probably a support or something.
I'm so curious. I'm ready to be wowed. Show me what we got.
Kaisa.
Kaisa, all right.
I love Kaisa. I think she is a very fun character to play. I think she's very fun to watch, very flashy.
Yes.
I think her ultimate, which I can't remember the name of,
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. I think it is such a fun ability to use. You can get out of a bunch of cool situations, and you can also just chase them down. I really like using Killer Instinct to run away, though.
Yes.
Like teleporting to the max range of it
Yeah.
when you're too close to someone. I think that's a very fun and interesting way to play Kaisa.
And I do want to note it can be flexed into mid lane by
It
Quaker and
could.
just been played like sort of the hybrid, sort of the stuff that you see in ARAM with Nashor's Tooth,
Right.
AP hybrid, especially with an Ashe on the other end. That is like an abysmal Kai'Sa matchup.
Yeah.
It's just not something you want to play
Shaco.
against. I love that Shaco's getting more
I
play.
hate Shaco.
I hate Shaco, but Evil Lobster, we've seen him on this pick before. It's a full lethality one-shot build. You sort of, once you get to the Voltaic sword item,
Yeah.
once you get to around 2-3 items, you can just one-shot people. And it's a great response actually into this Ashe, because Ashe has no defense into Shaco other than a like absurd Enchanted Crystal Hour. And
Neferi.
that is a Neferi.
I love Neferi, but I don't think you ever blind
Mm.
pick Neferi.
Yeah, so, okay. For those who don't know, because I'm sure nobody knows, because if you're watching this, you probably also like watching League of Legends professional play in general. This is Nefiri. I'm saying this because you've probably never seen this dog in your entire life because he is quite literally dog. Um, and
Yeah.
that is also one absolute worst matchups, isn't it? So,
Awesome. Maybe it's
oh,
the Fury top?
it could be. So Nefiri has like a bunch of different builds. You can build full lethality. Nefiri is a very simple assassin, and part of the issue with his kit being in a simple assassin is exactly that, in that once you reach these sort of high levels of play, his W is so easy to counter. Have a tank
Right.
stand in front of it.
Fiora banned away.
Like it's really hard to dive as Nefiri when the enemy team knows how to play against you.
I think with the Fiora ban, we might be expecting something that's not great into Fiora. Ornn, I think, is a good choice there. Varus going to be banned away so that we do not get the super poke comp in the bot lane.
Yeah,
Jungle also banned.
if I'm Miami, I'm banning Malphite. I mean,
For
this is
sure.
such an
We
awful.
have so
If
much
you
AD.
have to play against Malphite or Rammus, like it's really, really bad. This is it's so good to pick Rammus here. In fact, that I would flex Rammus top. Like I don't even care.
Yeah.
Rammus top was a thing a couple patches ago. So like
I think my
maybe more than
friend
a couple
Harsha,
patches.
who may or may not be watching, who is an avid Rammus enjoyer, absolutely loves that champion, would be very excited to see a Rammus top here. I don't think it'll actually happen. Going to be a Maokai picked up for NIU, it looks like. Probably going into that support lane,
Yeah,
but
I
could
loved it
be
last
flags.
time. I loved this Maokai last time. Was all over the map. Was super annoying. I also should note now that we're getting to NTSP and Valencia on their picks, they did swap back. So NTSP is now on the ADC, Valencia back onto support. Rel being highlighted here. Rel is typically seen in jungle, but has a pretty good lane with Kaisa. Very good setup with her. But it looks like Tom Kench might be the pick instead. Yeah, and that's
Tom
what's
Kinch
gonna
Kaisa,
be. Yeah, Tom Kench Kaisa, another classic. Absolutely.
right? Tom Kinch with the Abyssal Dive going to be very good. Oh, Senna.
All right, it looks like it's in the Fury top. We were right. So I
Fury.
was, I did actually thought
Yeah,
earlier
I mean,
the
okay.
Nefiri build. Nefiri does have a tankier build. He
Yes.
can build Titanic. He can build Jock Show, and
Yeah.
that's probably what he'll do going top lane.
Kaisa, I think Kaisa mid is very interesting. It could, I guess, in theory, be a Tom Kinch top and Kaisa Senna bot lane.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
I don't know how great that would be. There's not really any synergy there. It's not anti-synergy, but you're not really getting anything as the Poppy is going to be picked up for in IU in the top lane. A very
Yeah.
I'm
Assuming he's
scared.
against
No
again.
bans, no swaps coming out by Miami. I'm kind of scared. It's a
Oh.
little
Actually, no. You know what? Nefiri has a bad matchup no matter where he's going. And I trust Quaker with Nefiri.
okay.
I don't know why I do, but you ever just have like the feeling? I have the
You have the
feeling. I
feeling.
have the feeling,
Okay.
Caden. Um, Final Boss of Ohio Kaisa top. Kind of funny, kind of exciting. Evil Lobster loves this Shaco. He can go AP this game and be super annoying. We've
Uh-huh.
seen Miami play against an AP Shaco. But typically when Evil Lobster plays this pick, he plays the full lethality build.
Now, I'm not saying I'm a prophet, but
I
Aphelios
don't know, kind of
top,
sounds like you are.
Kaisa top is very close to Aphelios
You
top.
were there.
I think the ADC top lane, when ADCs do not deserve to be in the top lane, I don't think Vayne should be in the top lane, but Kaisa and Aphelios really, really shouldn't be in the top lane. Um, so I am again, I'm not saying I am a pro. I'm not saying I can see the
I don't know,
future,
every time you repeat it, it sounds
but
like you are
I
saying
think
it.
I was gifted the site.
Yes.
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 I that just very silly.
It's so fun.
I'm
I'm worried.
curious. I'm
I am
worried.
actually really
Very
worried
worried.
because, the one Poppy tool of the Steadfast Presence is actually still kind of useful in Kai'Sa once you hit 6
Right.
because it blocks the Killer Instinct dash. Because it even though it moves so fast, it's not a block.
Right.
It's a complete dash. So it's a little scary, especially considering that the Viego got ahead very quickly and was able to snowball with that last game. This Viego has the tools and pretty much he can easily gank every
Yeah.
single lane. Every single lane has easy setup. Maokai in the bot lane with the Twisted Advance. Mid lane, the Flash Frost from the Anivia on gonna have to step up for the wave. And
Right.
then top lane, that Kai'Sa's getting shoved into a wall. You
Yeah.
know, like this is really dangerous for Miami here, but maybe they see something that I don't. You know, there is a Shaco who can be annoying. Maybe that's all they need is a little bit of annoyance. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. We have a Nafiri on the Rift.
Yeah.
Who has ever said that in pro play ever? This will probably be the
Never.
first time. So don't go anywhere. Prepare to see how weird this game can get. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it's as fun as the last two games. So do not go anywhere. Stick with us. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. I'm excited. I know you're excited seeing that Nafiri mid lane, Kaisa top lane. I'm really prepared for some shenanigans this game. This is Miami University, NIU. This is game number 3. This is huge. The Evil Lobster is facing a 4-man Bush. See what happens here.
Oh
Oh, Maokai.
no.
Which actually means that he's not even going to be able to get a solo clear. So he's going to have to probably call Kaisa. We'll have to see what happens because getting Deceive and not box first means he can't really solo clear Raptors at least healthy.
Right. I don't think you
So
can at all without
yeah.
Raptor. You just don't have any damage there. Um, at least it is a Kaisa. Kaisa does do a lot of damage early with her
Yes.
passive. And probably you take a Cathian Rain, her Q level 1, the missiles. I think fine there as NIU is just taking over the bot lane jungle.
Right, and they actually have seen that Shaco is entered their top side jungle. So they're not They're playing this
What
really well
is
right now.
happening?
Fury is going to wait here forever and watch every bush because he knows that Evil Lobster is there, and as soon as they see him jump on here, they could potentially corner him, or they can sort of just leave him be there and then just like say, okay, well, we know where he is the entire time.
He does have to solo that red buff all alone with his only deceive, no boxes. So he's going to take a lot of damage
Yeah, it's gonna
from
be
the red buff.
slow. It's gonna be really, really slow, and they're gonna know where he is this entire time. So it's very, very dangerous right now for Evil Lobster. We'll see what he does. Right now, he's not on vision, but they sort of know that he's walked towards these raptors. But as soon as he clears these raptors, he's not gonna be on vision because that ward has expired.
I will say it wasn't as slow as I was expecting.
Yeah,
It was
with
slow,
getting,
but not
you know,
as slow.
he got boxed. I think he early smited. Yeah, he did early smite, so that was nice. We actually see Quaker decent amount of pressure early against this Anivia. And once she hits 3 though and gets, I mean, she can even take wall into this lane at level 3, and it's really useful. So
Yeah. Miami playing the spot lane super slow, just playing under tower. You can't really. I mean, I guess you can go for fights before level 6. Um, but I think level 6 with the Devour on that Tom Kenshin just makes the lane so
oh, it's a
safe.
1v1 mid. Quaker has to flash though. Here comes Evil Lobster as a response, and it's very nice by Evil Lobster to sort of mitigate anything from happening in the mid lane. Deceive away to buffer against the Spectral Maw will get him swiftly to his next camp, but he's going to find out in the bot side that they don't really have much to work with here because Viego has stolen his jungle. In fact, I'm surprised that both of these junglers didn't just vertical jungle.
Yeah, it is surprising. I'm not super sure what they are going to do in response here. Going to be
Oh, it's actually huge and gets the ignite off. Force out the flash. Is Deceive available? Flash
looks like
Frost is
not.
missed. Gets to take away the flash in exchange for his ignite though. And I mean, keep in mind these junglers have only cleared one side of their
Ooh.
camps. Evil Lobster, yep, that's
Nice.
first blood. Deceived into the blast cone meant that he was just an invisible hop over the wall, got the shiv, and is able to clear his jungle now too. And then if you look mid lane, these Darken Daggers are actually dealing a
Yeah.
lot of damage right now because this Anivia really has lost control of this mid lane with Viego coming in that early.
Nivea is going to be walking to the spot river, going to catch whoever was there.
Yeah, Evil Lobster's going to try to get away. Here comes NTSB and try and help it out. NTSB is going to
Weird
land the
fight.
tongue. Do the best that he can. This is a 4v3 right now. Remember that Anivia is really low, and so is this Maokai now. Miami is taken dangerously low as well, and TSP is going to pop the Grey Health and stay alive. The Piercing Light is healing as much as possible. Quaker is going to get stunned by the Flash Frost. It's a really nice crystallized wall that sections off NIU and Miami, but Miami so far is just able to walk away. How funny is this? And TSP is going to be stunned up, but will flash away again from the Flash Frost. You think that NIU can keep the slows up? It looks like they can. Evil Lobster, though, can deceive over the wall. And somehow, with Crystallize and with Ash slows this early into the game, NIU gets nothing out of that.
That's incredibly well played by Miami. I am dumbfounded by the fact that they got through that without losing a single person there. Everyone was so low. Everyone was just a few autos away from death, and just no one ended up dying there.
Right, and TSP's in a little bit of trouble. He's the Kench, though. He's not going to be benched quite just yet. He's got that Grey Health shield to keep him up. And I should mention, yeah, NTSP and Valencia did switch back, but they actually kind of different because NTSP is still playing the Kench, but he's playing farming. So, if you're Valencia here, you're worrying about the farm that you usually need to not worry about when you're playing support. So
Exactly. And this Neferi has not been going nearly as bad as I thought, but I mean, it is still very early into this game. Maybe I am caster's cursing it.
yeah, once
a little
Anivia
bit,
hits 6, you're gonna see the classic combo come out of wall into flash to the mid. But Neferi, I like this from Quaker, knows pre-6 he can go all in and will always win those trades. And he's really abusing this, and he has a pretty sizable gold lead right now. And pretty good control over mid lane, which means that Evil Lobster can go over to these grubs and pick up at least one for now. We'll probably pick up the other 2 as well because this Viego is just sort of sitting on his Krugs right now. We'll see what happens. But Quaker is in the mid lane going to call up Pack. Will he be able to finish anything off, though? Doesn't look like it just yet, but he can get away safely. The shield from the Pack is enough to keep him pretty healthy. And the Maokai roam, which is sort of to be expected from Bootwear, won't be anything quite just yet, but maybe Icasa Curse is a nice dodge from the Spectral Maw, though, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Twisted advance into Bramble Smash. Quaker is banging away as best as he can. Evil Lobster is here, and he's actually going to be enough.
So
Ignite,
much
and then it's
damage!
another kill. I shouldn't say solo kill. It's another kill on Evil Lobster. It's basically a solo kill. Quaker was there to just distract.
Quaker gets away again. This is the second time he's been on super low health, almost one shot from death, and just gets out.
Right, that and Nivea almost died there too, you know? I think she had the passive, the
Yeah.
rebirth to keep her alive,
Correct.
but she almost procced passive. You know, this is the Fury early game right now into this Anivia before 6, which she now has 6, it's pretty dangerous. Now that she has 6, though, you should kind of just expect wave clear, and that's sort of it.
Right.
You can safely stay out of Hound's pursuit range. I mean, I don't know why the Anivia sort of hasn't been standing outside of the range of Hound's Pursuit, because that ability is such a low range early game.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that it's been this I don't know. That it's been this close for both mid laners here. The Shaco though, 3-0 very early into this game, a very early lead, making jungle feel perfectly fine.
Yeah, actually has a Hydra, so I'm assuming it's Profane, and that's what it looks like.
So much
Profane
damage.
Hydra, so yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be Profane Hydra. I don't know if he goes Voltaic second or third, but pretty much what I blanket Evil Lobster Shaco as is once I see the Voltaic on him is when I'm going to see the one-shots come in, because that's when I know he has an insane amount of lethality, and the Voltaic, like, those energized attacks getting refreshed every single time you dash is so big. But NIU, nice shot by them. They are going to respond with the Ocean Drake, but they're down 4K. Just under 4K, though.
Right.
At 8 minutes into this game. And Miami, keep in mind, yes, they have a Nefiri Shaco who like to snowball. They also have a Senna, though. They have a backup condition for them.
Can we get a Senna stack count? There we go. 29 stacks on that Senna as a quick pause and unpause.
Yeah, that's funny. I guess maybe someone fat fingered it. I don't know. It looks like it is going to be a pause. You know, it's really funny. As soon as you say, "Can we get a Senna stack check?"
Yeah.
Someone said no.
No.
We don't want to actually.
Yeah. we did see the count though. It's 29 at
Yeah.
I think it was 7
Yeah, it was like 8 minutes, I believe.
which is not anything to scoff at.
No, and the game condition is going so well for Miami. You know, I was really afraid of this Fury because, in my opinion, I feel like every time the Fury wants to walk up into a Nivea, he's just gonna get flash frosted and then E'd, and then Nivea just walks out of Hound's Pursuit range, because Hound's Pursuit, the range of that ability, the dash, does not increase with the rank of it. It increases with the rank of your ultimate, which is like why I am like so hesitant whenever I see a Fury, because the scaling of that ability takes so long, but you kind of have a set amount of time to scale. Your mid game is really good, but your late game is like, it can be good, but it can also be kind of sucky depending on the team you play against. Here it's pretty good into the Ashe and to the Anivia, but the Maokai's just going to stand in front of them, so it's going to be really difficult.
I will say, Quaker is a Anivia player, so he has a very strong knowledge of Anivia's power spikes, of how safe Anivia is at any given moment. I'm sure he could put himself into that Anivia's shoes at any moment and just know if he has the ability to kill or not.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, and it seems like he knows his dive here, at least just to apply some pressure. Spectral Maw is going to land this. Viego is not the Viego he was last game. Ignite is going to finish off that kill. Flash over the wall into the top side of the map we go with this Kai'Su, who's going to get railed into the wall. Will she have to flash here? We'll use the Killer Instinct and the flash, but a flash response into the Keeper's Verdict means a shutdown actually going onto this Poppy because of how big the CS difference was in the top lane.
She did Killer Instinct in place, which is something to note. I think there's definitely more range that she, that final boss of Ohio could have Killer Instinct 2. I think that is more of a misplay than anything. Maybe stepping up a little bit too far as
Yeah,
a
I mean, this is what I mean. This is
yeah,
exactly what I was talking about, is that as soon as Hound's Pursuit gets used, you Flash Frost, and then you just walk away.
right,
But Be Chillin' they're trying to style, you know? They're trying to be like, "Oh, Dark and Daggers, I can dodge." Like, you're just getting autoed, though, and,
right.
Fury's autos deal a lot of damage. He has Eclipse built already. Once he gets Profane, they're gonna do even more damage. Like, even still here, standing so close to this minion wave, if you get Hound's Pursuited, you're dead. So you have to be so concerned. Yes, you have Rebirth, and it looks like that's what they're sort of trying to greed for
Oh
here.
no.
Going to take a turret shot will proc. Call of the Pack, not getting the shield just yet. Now they will with the Dark and Daggers. Get themselves out alive. Evil
That was
Lobster
scary.
is over the... Oh, look at the damage that's going to come out here. Might just be able to get the kill. Won't actually just get it yet. Doesn't have the Shiv. Was already used
Yeah,
in that fight. But yeah, Evil Lobster's always around there.
that was very interesting. I was kind of
Uh, Die there to a frostbite. So we're just going to
it
ignore that.
happens. It happens.
It happens to
We
the
did get,
best
we
of
did
us.
get point grubs.
Yeah, 3 grubs going over to Miami. Still a very sizable 4K gold lead at 12 minutes for Miami here. And you know what's sort of funny is it's very like, other than mid lane and Shaco, it's a quiet gold lead.
Yeah.
But if you look down towards the CS difference across the board, it's quite literally insane how big these CS difference are in every single lane.
And this is a repeat of almost every match that we do win. Miami just has better fundamentals of CSing
Yes.
against a lot of these teams in that we're up against. Not all of them, obviously, but a very good amount of them we CS very well and have a very good gold lead at around this time. So we
So,
see
yeah.
one Dark and Dagger connecting.
Again, I don't mean again. Would I be playing better against Quaker? Definitely not.
Right,
However, like you look if you're Quaker there, why is Be Chillin' stepping up like that? Of course you're being ganked. Like
right.
uh, it's weird. Like that's why he thumbed up the Bard emote after that. Like yeah, of course there's a Maokai around the corner. Now he's sort of stepping up a little bit, but he doesn't know that the Maokai was in his bot side jungle, although Shaco's going to spot him out just now, and Shaco's already dealing so much damage. Here comes the call of the pack. He's going directly for the Viego, but there's the issue that comes with the Fury, but he is able to actually pick up Broccoli there.
And he's like full health.
Yeah, he is full health. Can they look for more here? Hound's Pursuit range isn't quite there just yet, but the Abyssal Dive from NTSP gets them closer, and here comes the backstabs from Evil Lobster. NTSP picks up one, is looking for another. He's actually going to devour. Evil Lobster deceives. Able to pick that one. A nice scoop up and score.
That is what we call fast food delivery for the Shaco here. Going to be getting 2 for free, and maybe he gets a 3rd.
Yeah,
he
let's
does a lot of
see.
damage.
Yeah, his so much here, but the crystallize coming down. He's sort of just screwed. Gonna get hallucinated. Does he have to deceive up in time? He does not. Just sort of waited out his death there. Knew that there was kind of nothing he could do. Would have liked to taunt, but didn't get to see
Yeah,
any of that.
it's kind of unfortunate. Whatever, I guess. Dragon is up. It looks like NIU is going to be positioning around, maybe looking for that. Viego is topside though, and I guess this Dragon is just going to stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for NIU, they do have, but they don't. Oh, Be Chillin'. See what happens here. First Dark Dagger misses. Second one lands though. His dogs should be able to proc the Rebirth, and they will. So he's finally going to be able to get that Nivea passive down, which means that he can start to play really aggressive in this lane, especially with Flash up.
Yeah, and this is once again what you've been harping on this entire time. This Anivia should not have been stepped up like at all. There's no reason for it, and she's going to get super punished for it. She has to play super, super, super safe.
Oh, TP coming top lane from Quagert here, final boss of Ohio.
TP got canceled.
Yeah, TP did get canceled. I don't even actually know how.
It was the Tom Kinch, so I'm assuming he got not twisting advanced.
Twisted advanced,
yes,
yeah. Here comes Evil Lobster with his Hallucinate, going to be able to fear that Viego under actually very low. But is actually going to
Ooh,
look here with a Flash Spectrum Wall. Very nice kill by Broccoli. As we pan back bot lane, where I'm seeing the same thing that I've been seeing for the past 16 minutes, and they're just farming, and you know what? You love to see it if you're Senna.
yeah.
You win the late game against their bot lane. If you're Maokai here, you've been trapped under your turret, you want to make plays, but you can't get any tempo in this game. They are going to look here, though, just as I say that, as Quaker is coming. Nice positioning by Valencilla to avoid the Nature's Grasp. Dawning Shadow comes out. She's dealing a fair bit of damage. NTSP is underneath the Glacial Storm, though, and it looks a bit low. Great Devour, though, and it's a big shield. Do they have the damage,
Nice.
though? Yes, they do. Oh my
Gets
gosh,
one.
she gagged me a bit, if you will. NTSP is
Gets
going to pick up
two.
another. Can he get the triple tongue smash? Let's see. Abyssal Dive
Going to go in.
misses, but he's going to
Oh
get Flash Frost. The Glacial Storm
no.
doesn't have the time to Gray Health, and Quagert's here as well. The Abyssal Dive is going to miss. Does have a Heartbreaker available to slow, but here comes Evil Lobster. This has been the bane of this
Happening.
Viego's existence. Every time Viego wants to kill this Naafiri, Evil Lobster's right around the corner to respond, and this is just not the Viego game we were seeing last game.
So in the first two games, I will pause as a
Oh my gosh, yeah, nice burst as the Darkened Daggers get a nice chunk of damage onto this Ashe, but won't actually be that much. Meanwhile, top side, we're seeing the all-in happening. It's a nice Killer Instinct to get a shield, but I don't think Final Boss of Ohio really wants to finish that fight. Nice flash away from the Hammer Shock. Will make sure he does not fall there. That would have probably resulted in a Rift Herald going over to NIU, but
well,
it instead he's not up. And I know you were just channeling that, like why? And yeah, yep.
I am concerned about this top lane. Um, at least in the first two games, I had some sort of understanding on why the pick existed. The Trundle for the really heavy push, and up against a Ornn, it was fine. Game 2 Scion, you were playing like an Inting Scion, you wanted to just get towers and objectives.
Oh, this is an awful storm.
I really don't understand the Kaisa. You're going AP Kaisa, but you're not really doing anything.
I agree. Oh, it is AP. Yeah, you're so
Yeah.
right. Great point. I was actually thinking it was just going to be AD because, I mean, you're kind of looking for someone that, like a hyper carry who can
Right.
punch down this Poppy quickly. But yeah, it is just going to be AP. I guess they do want some magic damage on their team.
Sure,
But if
but
we look at NIU, it's kind of just Maokai and Poppy. They have do anything spot side. Doesn't look like they will. 3 grubs only were taken in this game so far, but they were all taken by Miami. 0 grubs have been taken by NIU in this
Right.
series, which is an important thing to note. And it is Mountain Soul this game, which is really incredible. Honestly, for both teams, I kind of like it even more though on Miami, especially on someone like Quager. I mean, it's going to be really hard to kill this Naafiri, especially if he decides to build any tankiness. Sometimes you can sort of afford to build just like a 3 items of lethality on Naafiri, then just go something crazy, like Jock Show or something.
I do actually have to disagree with you. I think the Mountain Soul is far better on NIU, going to protect and just completely shut down the Naafiri's ability to one-shot anyone late game, making the 2 tanks even tankier and keeping your Viego.
Oh. You make a great point, and you know what? Dawning Shadow wants to get that kill for Valencilla, but another one goes over TSP. Now they're stuck in a 3v2 though, and it looks like Valencilla is just going to fall here. NTSP will just Abyssal dive.
There you
go.
go.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
you know, when
unfortunate.
when there's a funny game, sometimes funny things come out.
Red team getting 1 tower, maybe getting 2 with.
Oh, they're getting a TP. Evil Lobster's in here again, but is on top of that Glacial Storm. It's a very nice hallucinate to dodge away from the Spectral Maw. And
Going in.
yeah, they are going in. We'll get 1. Crystallized Wall
Kinda
isn't quite big
trapped.
enough just yet. Those Gray Health will be able to keep alive. He's getting dangerously slowed up. We'll have to flash away from this Ashe. But it does mean that this scuffle will result in top turret being killed by this Kaisa.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think AP Kaisa is particularly well known for taking towers very quickly. I'm kind of concerned about the longevity of this Kaisa here, as she is going to try to get away, do
I
a
think
little
you
bit
can
of
sort of
damage.
feel that Final Boss is not used to playing these very volatile ADCs because the positioning has just been off. Another kill will go over to B Chillin, who's actually getting a lot of kills in the side lane. So even though he really struggled in the mid lane, the side lanes have really been benefiting him, and he's been able to sort of build a lead there.
I do want to point out Miami, 11-9, but they have an 8K gold lead.
Oh.
Doing
Oh my gosh,
what?
look at the backstab
Oh
damage.
my!
It's just an instant kill onto Reloaded. Walked right into the Jack in the Box, spelled death for him. Can Evil Lobster deceive his way out of this? Catch the pun.
Looks like
Looks like
he's
he,
going to get
yeah,
very
looks
far
like he
away.
can. And here comes Quager, though. Flash Frost wasn't immediately available. Now it is. How much can he do here, though? Call of the Pack used very late, though. I definitely had it up. Could have just procced it to go in. Suppose not, though. Will he be able to get away here? Deceive over the wall, but it's sort of expected. Fury can sort of just lead
Has
this one.
Elucidate.
Oh, it's a fantastic Elucidate with the box. Evil Object gets out
That was just
alive.
awesome timing there. That should have killed Evil Lobster for sure.
Oh my gosh,
A
Maokai
lot of
takes
damage.
so much damage. Dawning Light just barely misses, but it's a nice snipe with the Void Seeker from Final Boss of Ohio. Means that Drag is likely to just go over to Miami here, but they're looking for more. Uh-oh, Quager is shut down on the other end. Miami is sort of now all over the place. They had this dragon in the bag, but they've split themselves up, and now it's just a simple 3v3. Evil Lobster is on his way. Fury is looking for the stun into the wall. They will pick it up onto NTSP.
With Evil Lobster here, I don't think NIU has any chance of winning this fight. They do have to just fall back and probably give this first Mountain Drake. Looks like that is what is going to happen, since their Viego is dead for a few more seconds here.
They are looking at the NCSP. Don't actually land the stun, though, and he is very tanky. Now he can just go over the wall. It's a very nice Crystallize, though. The Crystallize knocked him up, prevented that from happening. Mountain Drake will go over to him. Nice Enchanted Crystal Arrow will find Valensula. Bramble Smash into the stun will spell death. A flash forced away from Final Boss of Ohio. They do pick up the dragon, but they have to lose several of their team members for it. It's a nice Crystallized section. Wall will go into Rebirth. Passive shutdown goes onto Valensula, but look at the damage from Quaker with the Profane Hydra. That's a double kill going onto him. And Evil Lobster will finish off the egg onto B Chillin and pick up that shutdown gold. That's B Chillin's first death somehow, believe it or not, this game.
That was really well played. Miami being in the right place at the right time there, going to collect those kills. They do lose a few of their own, but I don't think it's that bad. It's like a 2. It was a 1 or a 2-4 Kaisa. I don't think making her 2-5 is really all that bad as we get to look at the gold here.
I was just about to mention this Viego.
Everyone's
it's just
ahead.
Yeah, specifically though. Think about that Viego last game, 10-0 at this time, pretty much.
Now
and
he
now,
is 2-8.
Yeah, 2-6.
2-6. Sorry, yeah, sorry.
2-6.
I can't read.
Like, so squishy, cannot at all deal with this Shaco. It's really been a struggle for Broccoli this game, which it's very sad, especially seeing how well he performed on this pick last game.
Sure. I am pleased with Miami here. However, about a 10K gold lead, a little under. Going to be doing a lot with those leads. Every lane, every character has a gold lead of some kind, and it kind of shows in everyone except for the Kaisa. Even then, she does a lot of damage. If you've been watching her proc, her passives with her W, even against like this Poppy, it's been a really large amount of damage when it really, I don't think, has any warrant doing as much as it does.
Yeah, even just as poke, as I don't want to talk too soon because Evil Lobster can just one-shot simply, but he might be the one in He's going to get shut down by this Ashe, and here comes a flank TP, twisted advance onto NTSP. He could be in trouble here, but Anivia has her sights deeper on into fight. Actually misses the Flash Frost, though. Look how much damage came through from the Dawning Shadow and the Praise Seeker. They're able to pick out one against this Viego. Fury is in the depths of this fight, but swooping in is Quaker. Gets the one shot onto this Ash. You're going to pick up another, his final boss of Ohio. They're looking for more here. NTSP is a bulky catfish, just looking to slap his tongue on NIU and try to just pick up more of these kills. Oh man, they're in so much trouble here. Quaker is flying in with the Hound's pursuit. Can Miami just end here? I don't know if they can. The death timers are still not long enough. They'll likely be able to pick up and inhib. Fantastic fight for for them.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that's what they needed, but it's not like they were behind whatsoever. They were just doing what they needed to do. And a very good fight for Miami, going to take the resets with a lot of gold here. Nefiri looking nice.
Yeah. I mean, there is... So, I was going to mention this before Evil Lobster died, and then Evil Lobster did exactly what I expected he was, as here comes the one shot. He picks up the kill, will be hallucinated. Oh, is that Fury going to be enough? Oh. No, the last tick. Broccoli picks up another one. Just having fun a little bit. But the one issue that Miami has into NIU's is when they dive NIU, they have to get the kills immediately. Because Ash and Anivia, the two carries, can stall really well themselves as long as they're given a second. But the problem is for them that Quaker and Evil Lobster are so accelerated in this game that they don't really have a second. But you see it there, Quaker gets stunned up, and now he's twisted advance, and he has nowhere to go, and he's going to be shut down. So he, again, not able to quickly pick up the kill means he's going to die. Here comes Hound's Pursuit from Broccoli on that Viego, but so much damage is actually coming out from Valencilla. Let's see how much she can continue to do. Will she be able to kill the Rebirth? I think she'll be able to even kill it just afterwards. It's a double kill on this Senna. Valencilla really has never played this Senna pick, and I love seeing her on it. It's really funny seeing her on an ADC again this game.
Yeah, I mean, we did see her last game on the Ash, but
this feels more realistic.
Yeah, this feels more like an actual ADC. I am a very big Senna fan. I love Senna in every role. Playing her as a support, as a true support, or a farming or a fasting ADC, I think she's very fun. My favorite was like 2 seasons ago, though, when she was able to just be a farming ADC and you put like a rapid fire on her.
So,
but Miami looking to do more here. It looks like we are just.
Well, there's an Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming, but it's just gonna hit the clone, not even really. And with Miami so pushed up in the mid lane and with Viego there as well, they're sort of not expecting a dragon to be taken here, so they do claim that objective bounty, but now Maokai might be trapped here. Let's see how much damage they can do. It is an aftershock, but yeah, look at Evil Lobster. Quaker's in the thick of the fight. It's a very nice devour, and he wants more. Going to pick up a double kill, doesn't even fall. Piercing Light will top him off. Miami has minions in NIU's base. They just want to pad the stats, though. Evil Lobster's looking for another. Won't actually get it. PSV just taunting his jungler as he picks up another. 5 and 2 on this Kench. Will absolutely not be benched. They're TPing into the mid lane. I don't know if...
Yeah, it was so confused.
I don't know if Quaker can really do a whole lot against Fury, although he did chunk him out for about 1k. Let's see how much they can put onto NIU's base. See how much Fury can actually do. If he's just going to kite away, he's not going to do much against this Kaisa. He's going to have to just really fully commit here. Let's see what Miami can do here. Are they going to be able to end, or will they just play it safe? It looks like they're going to back here. Valencilla is going to pop that Curse of the Blackness to get away, but nope. It's a nice shot by Final Boss of Ohio. Picks up 1 half health onto that Ash with another Prey Seeker. Going to keep firing them. Look how much damage they deal. Abyssal Dive goes in. Not going to be able to knock anybody up. And at this point, Miami is just playing with their food. Will flash over the wall as Final Boss of Ohio was stuck behind the Crystallize. And, I mean, every time I think Miami is going to go back, they just sort of kite it out, and then a bunch of damage comes through from these Prey Seekers. So they're just sticking around still. Look how much... I mean, Senna's stacking a lot, though. This is 2 waves. She's going to keep getting stronger and stronger. Nice stun lands onto Quaker. Nice tongue lands onto Fury.
Miami doesn't really have a fight here. It doesn't look like. Maybe with Evil Lobster
Evil
getting here
Lobster's
now.
oh my god.
The Ash with that Void Seeker.
She's just going to go back into base, which means that this Minion Wave can probably push up into turret, but I mean, with Anivia around, it's kind of hard. I think Miami should just sort of back off, take Baron here,
Yeah,
but I don't think they want to.
I think they want to end.
They really to get this done or just have a fight happen. Nice Devour gets Evil Lobster out of trouble.
I think we just go for a Baron. Maybe
Curse
time
of
has
the
passed
Black
now.
Miz again baits that they're going to be leaving, but they're actually not.
I'm so confused.
This is just a really funny situation. You know, I'm going to keep talking because you never know when the Abyssal Dive is going to go. And finally, Miami has a minion wave topside, and they are going to push there. Inhib is respawning mid as well. Ooh, a nice flank from Maokai. Nature's Grasp lands onto several of Miami, but I don't really think NIU has any damage. They've gone everything for Valencia, but Quaker and Evil Lobster are really the main threats right now.
I
It's
mean,
a 4v3 so far. I think NIU might be able to live this, but if they continue these fights out, they might be in some trouble.
I mean, it is really just like two tanks versus two assassin-like characters, two bursty characters.
Oh, they were looking for it there. Nice dodge away from the Keeper's Verdict, and he's going to go back in. Will pick up the kill. Flash Frost lands, will not. Shutdown goes on to be chillin'. And then now Miami is like, okay, yeah.
Now we have
back off.
to leave because there's no way you stay. That was so interesting.
I mean, I feel like that sort of summed up what this series has been so far.
Miami does have a 14k gold
Oh,
lead.
my gosh, and he's gonna pick up the kill! Oh my god! Enchanted Crystal. Push back into this Viego and we'll die for it. But I was not expecting a Frozen Heart Trailblazer Maokai to be basically two-shot.
I guess she... I guess the Maokai, that is, doesn't really have any MR. And that is all just 18 damage going to come out and just chong. But very
I'm
interesting.
just sort of surprised. That was insane. Passive proc and the Void.
That was a lot.
Yeah, the Prey Seeker. It's just insane. Well, let's see how much more Miami can push this lead. The minions are in their base. They are actually able to pick up a kill in the base. Let's see what can happen here. And their nexus is actually open. Somehow this Anivia, like too much to deal with is this minion wave. And Broccoli is just now in a terrible spot. Can't really deal.
Here, right? I guess he has to flash as well.
We'll flash over the wall, but it's not enough against the Hound's pursuit. Quaker picks up the kill. Do they even need this Baron? It looks like they'll take it just in case. TP is coming out to secure it. And I think Miami's just going to make this a very slow burn for them.
Going to take it. Maybe they're just going to beat it.
I mean, Evil Lobster, that Nexus is open. He can sort of deceive his way through there.
Yeah,
all of NIU is there in their base, though.
So I think if he is going to try to be sneaky, he has to do it when NIU is not there, but it looks like Miami is just going to run in to the base.
Yeah, Nature's Grasp will prevent a push for now. Let's see how much more can happen. Valencia's been completely stunned up, though. Here comes Evil Ops, though, has hallucinated, but they're both next to each other, and I think they already know which one is the hit. We'll get Keeper's Verdict away, actually, and won't even die.
That's so fun.
That is really unfortunate, but B-Chillin is going to pick up another one. Quaker goes in, but this is the issue with the Fury late game, not going to be able to pick up the kill. Nexus is below half HP, will start healing up, and TSP doesn't have much he can do here. Will probably survive with great health and everything.
But he doesn't really have a way to get out.
Yeah, once he sees enough of the CC, he can probably get away, but nah, he's screwed. It's an ace, actually, for NIU here. Right. Will they get Baron is the question, though.
I do think Baron was the right choice. It was kind of funny going for the clip there with the Nexus, but just not going to do it. I don't think it's a throw, but it is unfortunate. I mean, had a 10k gold lead, they are going to have enough people up to defend from Baron play.
Ward? Can we get a check on their Nexus? Is there a ward on their Nexus? Because Quaker does have TP.
It does not look like there is, but there are 2 waves coming in.
Yeah, I'm wondering, does Quaker just TP? Nah, I don't think so. Actually, they got Baron too quickly. They're able to back in time. So nothing, no backs. A little bit of hope for NIU, but they're still down 8k in this game. It's a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, I don't really know how NIU does anything here. I mean, obviously they did win that fight, but it was mostly just because Miami was fighting fairly out of position and fairly disjunct. So I think if it is a true 5v5, and this Maokai doesn't get a weird flank like he did before, I don't see a way where Miami doesn't just win the fight.
Right, especially if Prey Seekers are or Void Seekers are just constantly being fired out and landing on NIU, who has basically, like, no magic resistance. I mean,
Like, look
look
at
how much
that.
damage
That's a
that was,
tank.
yeah, that's a Maokai. So, like, yes, he can heal up with his passive, but it's just anybody that this lands on other than the Canicked, Poppy, it's going to be abysmal for NIU.
Why? So not to like rag too much on this Maokai, but he did go Kindle Gem after seeing his health bar get absolutely decimated by this Void Seeker. So I think you just build an all mantle cloak, right? Instead of a Kindle Gem.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think the big issue right now for NIU is these two lethality carries. So if you can just stay alive against them, then you can help this Anivia stay alive, which is really the only hope right now for NIU. So
I
Anivia's
guess
actually
so.
been doing a lot against
Right.
Miami. Great Enchantal Crystal Arrow is going to land. Quaker's going in with the call of the pack, but just going to die immediately. Evil Lobster, though, is going to pick up the bot lane inhibitor as trade. And TSP will probably pick up
Just
this
go
top
for
lane
it.
turret
Yeah.
for his life.
Yeah,
Will
for sure.
fall. And now 2 inhibs down. What can Miami do with this, though? They're starting to sort of fall apart. Beat Chillin is really getting difficult to deal with. I think they need to sort of play it a little bit slower, even though they've already been sort of playing it slow moving into the base. Just keep allowing Final Boss of Ohio to land these Void Seekers and deal as much damage as possible,
Peninsula.
hoping that they land onto the Sinivia.
128 stats, 128 souls on this Senna. Going to be doing a lot.
I also want to say that this Anivia built Deadmans,
Oh,
which is really funny.
yeah.
I
Just
guess
trying to stay alive.
yeah, just really trying to stay alive. Tanky though, you know, moves fast, pretty tanky. So I like the option. I don't know if
Right.
Deadman's is necessarily the best one. Might
No,
just give the most armor though.
I think maybe the better choice is the Frozen Heart. Maybe you don't want to stack 2 Frozen Hearts though. Um, but I mean, I think for what it is, I think it does give you more value.
Evil Lobster actually does a decent amount of damage, and here comes Valencilla. Will flash over the wall. Enchanted Crystal Arrow does land. Here comes the TP coming out from this Tom Kench. The Fury is pushing that bot side of the map. Keep that in mind as we see what Miami moves towards. Looks like they're not going to look for anything further, though.
Yeah, I didn't love that TP. I think it was good for keeping or stopping NIU from actually doing the fight. But in the long run, I don't know if it was worth. Ooh,
Quaker is going to go in, going to be stunned up against the wall. This Ashe and this Anivia are nearby, and Quaker doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, but keep in mind that that is a Canic shield, so that's fake health pretty much
right.
up against Quaker here. Going to keep poking with the Darkened Daggers. They're looking to get 3 inhibs here, which could possibly open up the game. And keep in mind, that was actually Rebirth that went down. Very nice flash steadfast means that the block will come through on the Eviscerate from Quaker. Dawning Shadow doesn't really do a whole lot here. Very nice flash away from the Prey Seeker. Evil Lobster, meanwhile, is in their base. Going to Hallucinate, will use his clone to lock it up. Gonna actually be Keeper's Verdict by the clone is gonna be Keeper's Verdict. That was curious. And now 3 inhibs down. What can NIU do? We've seen them defend several times before, but will they be able to do it again? Broccoli tries to flash and make a play, but it's not enough. Doesn't actually land anything. We'll get a response flash from Quaker. And here comes NTSP into this fight. Quaker's been brought very low, but it's a very nice devour to keep him alive. Broccoli's gonna fall as well. Quaker just doesn't die. It's a double kill actually going to Final Boss of Ohio. This Nexus is down. This series is done. Miami will pick it up and take the win.
You know what? I will say it. I stand corrected. The Kaisa needed what 3 items, and then
Yes.
she started doing far too much damage. It was well played. I was not believing early with how the top lane went against that Poppy, but it did end up working out fairly well.
Yeah, and even the Fury did too. You know, the Fury just
Right.
had a gold lead, and I do think when you have a gold lead as the Fury, you don't necessarily need doesn't even need the kills. You can just take the lethality items, wait to scale. Once you get into that mid game is when you get really good. And then
Right.
we saw a few times when, yes, the problems of the Fury are there. He gets blocked by everybody in team fights. You need to find a clear flank, or you just need to catch someone out of position. And Miami got really lucky because NIU was very often out of position. And when you're playing against a Shaco and a Fury, it's just gonna spell death for you.
Yeah.
It's a
There were a lot of really good flanks of, especially the Shaco, uh, just showing up and doing more than like 80% of
yeah.
a player's health bar just out of nowhere.
Yeah, he just took Red Smite, would start with a Red Smite Shiv backstab, like, that did almost the entire health bar of
Right.
this Ashe for the entire game. Fantastic gameplay from Miami. It was fun to watch.
It
I
was
hope you all
fun.
had fun watching as well at home, because I had a blast. I especially loved that first game in 16 minutes. It was awesome to see Miami close a game out that quick. And then in this game, while it did take a lot longer, it was still just as fun. Even the
Right.
game that they lost, it was a silly game. We got some living artillery moments from Quigert as
Yeah,
well
yeah,
in that
yeah.
second game. So great job by Miami and a great job by NIU taking us to a game three, but the game does go over to Miami. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our second to last League of Legends broadcast for ESC CLOL. The last one is this Saturday. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more fun stuff from Miami here. So please stick with us there. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at RedHawksGG so for some more updates. You can catch some clips from today's games if you want on there as well. My name is Jason J. Alan.